How you doing, folks? Zane here, just popping in at the top of the show to let you know we had a few technical issues recording this particular episode, not least Mr. K's cat deciding to take a huff at something that was said and turn off his PC, and then my internet just deciding to randomly drop out for the hell of it, for the lols. So yeah, you'll probably find there's a few gaps in the conversation, but I think you pretty much get the gist of what was going on at the time, so it should all still be hopefully quite enjoyable. That said, apologies. Hopefully next week we'll be a shitload more professional. Until then, hope you enjoy the show. Take care, folks.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of 10 Years at Best, I believe episode 4, with myself, Vandal K, that guy up there, the D, and the owner of this glorious channel. That would be Mr. Zane of Zane Gaming. How you doing, guys?
Fantastic, slightly less greeny blue than last week, or the week before.
You're looking quite peaky, I'll be honest, yeah.
Darken. It just almost just looks like black now. Hang on, I'm going to try and change.
You can just put on a mask, or... Alright. Zane, how are you?
Yeah, don't ever change. I'm doing alright, I'm recovering.
Recovering from?
Recovering. So, I mean, we weren't here last week, and obviously I can't speak for you guys, but we couldn't do it. I just had to recover for the fact that our country pretty much get totally and utterly fucking nerfed.
Nerfed is right. So much so I've got a little Hearthstone squeegee that I've been living with. This is the 5th one today.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realise we were OP in the first place, but apparently 52% of my countrymen disagreed, so...
Completely.
There we go. Anyway, not a politics show, so moving on.
That's all we'll say about that. I like how the D said nothing. He detected politics and liked it. You're a genius.
Fuck that.
Incoming!
Good call. So this week we're going to be chatting about some bits and bobs. We've got some YouTube news, which sounds like a strange thing to say if you're not a YouTube fan, i.e. you don't spend as much time on it as we do. We've got some movie chat. We've got Batman vs Superman Ultimate to talk about. Lots of bits and bobs. So shall we crack forth and not multiply, but you know, that whole thing.
And I'm also timing the show. I'm putting my foot down here. That's happening.
Well, you can phone the food in when we're at the 3 hours 40 mark, right? How's that sound?
I'm also watching the tennis as well.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, I was thinking of just having a kind of new introduction. We're talking about TAB, the 10 Years at Bed podcast. 1 hour podcast spread over 2, possibly 3 hours.
That sounds about right, yeah. Is there not football on tonight as well?
Yep. I'm recording that one. It's semi-final of European Championships, and it's Portugal versus Wales.
Wales?
Wales.
Like the country or the fish with the biggest dick in the ocean?
That would be different.
That would be one hell of a semi.
You get aroused by Wales?
Wow. That was articulate, shall I say? Get it? Semi-articulated? Come on! We're not even tennis, we're just genius this time.
I'm just annoyed that I don't have a wind sample.
You are a wind sample, that's your new name. Alright, so moving on swiftly.
Moving on to the actual show.
Moving on to the actual show, instead of just sitting here running the piss at each other for 3 hours. Alright, so moving quickly on, first thing to flag up this week is that assuming that we don't get the show caught up in a Windows 10 update while we're streaming here, have you been seeing this? Getting more and more fever pitched as people are actually managed to successfully sue Microsoft for 10 grand, I think it was, 7,000 their money, UK money, for basically upgrading their PC without their say-so.
Yeah.
So what's the story behind having their PCs upgraded without their say-so exactly?
It can be cancelled, however, it will remind you.
Yeah, by asking you, do you want to upgrade?
Yeah,
Is that the reminder?
there's literally no point, as far as I can understand it, and Zane, you can correct me if you know any different, but I've upgraded so many machines to Windows 10, and might I say happily, but I don't remember at any point it being able to do it without you clicking something.
See, this is the thing. I'm sure at some point, I don't know how for how long it was in there, but at one point they added it to the Windows updates.
Yeah, the Windows 10 downloader was added to the Windows Update as a recommended update, so it came down automatically.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. So if you're set up to automatically download and install updates,
But I don't think Windows 10 was that how it happened?
aye, that's what happened. Was if your PC was set up to, they added it as a regular update at some point.
That's weird because my folks are all on automatic full update and none of them got
Didn't
updated.
happen. Well, I mean this. I mean, as far as I'm aware, this is how it happened. This is how it was reported.
But either way, they handled it all freaking wrong, in my opinion. I mean,
totally.
I'm a big candidate for Windows 10. I think it's a cracking operating system, but no company's get any right to even to obfuscate choice for people. I think that's a bucket of bullshit. Personally, I think soon people. I think that's really just a warning to Microsoft, a shot across the bow. 10 grand isn't anything to them, but reputationally, it's not the best. What do you think, Dave?
If they've done it kind of without the consent, and there's been a problem, I can see there being a kind of cause. So I mean, without reading the story, I mean, are they just doing it because like, well, you never got my permission, or are they doing it because they've upgraded and they've had an issue?
They said they
upgraded
upgraded
their PC and they've lost important data.
That's it. They're saying the person that sued said that they had lost money from their business because their PC was unavailable. Now the problem is they said it kept. They said something like it kept freezing, applications kept crashing. But for me, that's one of those things that bothers me, and I think only because I'm an engineer, I look at it and go, I bet that wasn't even the problem. Do you know what I mean? Because I've upgraded so many machines and I've seen, don't get me wrong, I've seen machines have a wee problem with a driver here and there. I've never seen a machine just stop working because of Windows 10. So I'm sitting there going, all right, fair enough. But at the same time, again, it doesn't give any company the right to take that choice away from you. But I've not seen a single instance where that's happened. So bit of a bollock, to be honest. But again, things should be big clear buttons. When they're going to change your system so kind of massively, it should be a big button. It's no different from, I've got apps that I've lived with for a long time, and then all of a sudden one day you do an update and it looks completely different. You're like, well, that's kind of fucked my workflow a little bit. But they kind of warn you, and I think that's what this is about, is making sure you just don't get handed shit you don't want, and that's where they made an arse of it, personally.
Yeah, I mean, without actually seeing what was actually discussed in the court is a bit of a pain in the arse, because the description of what it was is not great. The update failed and her computer slowed to a crawl, crashing at times and becoming unusable for days at a time. But this was after the update failed. So
if it failed, how did you get Windows 10?
Yeah, does that mean it didn't go to Windows 10, or it did go, or yeah, there's not really enough information out there to tell you what actually happened, which is probably done on purpose, because then everybody just says that's what happened to them and they'll go and sue. So you know,
yeah, I don't think it's class action.
Aye, but yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just, they're still constantly pushing and pushing. I mean, at the moment, it's what, the 29th, end of this month is,
and that's it over. Yeah,
is the last date for the free upgrade. But they're still wanting to push these full screen warnings now.
Yeah,
so like you switch on your computer, you're doing God knows what. I could be sitting streaming a game and suddenly my screen just turns blue with this big warning going, oh, by the way, just to let you know, in case you want Windows... No, I don't fucking want Windows 10. It's been there for ages. If I wanted it, it would be on my machine by now. Fuck off.
But the thing is, though, do you know what's going to happen? People are going to get their old machines that want to upgrade it when they didn't have it upgraded, then they'll be pissed off that it costs money.
Yeah.
People are always pissed off. No matter what you do, people will always be pissed off. The thing that's kind of brought, that's exactly what you're saying, it brought that home to me, was the fact that it is going to bugger off at the end of the month and you're going to get a full screen message, and that's going to piss a lot more people off.
Oh yes, I mean I don't know who's doing their marketing for this whole thing, but they just seem to be screwing it up left, right, and centre. The last thing, like I say, if you've not got it by this point, the last thing you want is a big, what looks like a fucking old
Blue
style
screen
blue
error.
screen of death. Camera up, scaring the shite out you, going, by the way, just in case you want Windows 10. Fuck. Get yourself to buggery.
In case you want Windows 10, you've lost all your data. Eat a dick.
Aye.
Yeah, that's pretty shocking.
I do love it, actually. I've got Windows 10. I love the fact that every time you update at the moment, if it's a really big one that comes up, going, it's now updating. Don't worry, all your files are still there. So it fucking better be.
No, it's even creepier than that. It's like all your files are exactly where you left them. It's kinda
That's
like,
it.
It's like coming into your house and your dog's kind of like fucked up your couch, but it's just like you're going, it's still a couch.
Still there.
You're like,
It's okay.
what? the guilty visitor.
Oh. Sons of bitches.
D, what's your take on Windows 10? Are you a fan?
I absolutely admit the message about it saying it's all right. We've come into your house, we've rubbed ourselves up and done your curtains, but all your dishes are exactly where you left them. It's just
See that saying? Don't worry about that.
So that's a bit weird. But yeah, overall, I've got no major complaints with Windows 10. The only issues I've had is it's kind of hosed graphics options for me in recovery from sleep from the tablet. It's caused. I've got a driver issue with my USB for the sound for the laptop, which I never had before. So every time I boot up, I get that kind of distorted noise I'd mentioned the other week.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of disconnect and reconnect and reload the drivers every time.
Yeah, because I had a look at your tablet, and I think that both your tablet and your laptop are rocking the same Intel chipset. So you're kind of going, Intel, Windows 10's been out for ages, going to give us the right drivers now. But that's the thing, is that's stuff that in this day and age you'd think they'd have gotten better at, you know? Remember, it used to be, before we remember the days of if we had driver plug and play, where you actually had to go and get files and put them on your laptop individually,
Yeah.
you know? So
I mean,
So, apart from that, it's kind of decent enough. No issues with it. We've got to roll with the times and stay with the latest and greatest, unlike Marty.
yeah, I mean, the only problem I've had with Windows 10 since I updated, I'm going to say, I'm not even going to call it an upgrade. Updated is like every now and then I can't seem to right click on my start bar, like if I've not reset my computer for like a month.
that's not a server, dude.
Might be
As
something
an
to do with-
experienced tech, I think I may have found the issue.
Do you think it's the reset time that's maybe the problem there rather than Windows 10?
Maybe the reset time or the probably 140 terabytes of video that you process in a month.
I mean, it could be that as well, yeah.
You know, it's just that like one or two videos a day of
Aye.
super high res footage, you know, whatever.
Have you thought of upgrading to Server 2012?
He's on the early adopter scheme for 2016, he doesn't know it yet.
There have been reports, I think, with programs like DxTory not working, which is used for like, recording games and recording game footage.
Alright, I thought it was another political thing. I was like, please don't go back there.
Causing problems with it apparently. But I mean, I've not actually found any. I've not had any issues with it myself, I have to say. Apart from, let's say, the odd kind of start bar issue if I've not reset for a wee while. But that's, yeah, I think we can point the finger at me for that one.
Awesome. Righty, shall we move on forth from the land of Microsoft making arse of things? And maybe we could jump over to something where Microsoft haven't made an arse of things for 5 minutes. What do you think of Red Dead Redemption coming to backwards compatibility? Did you hear about this one?
It's great news. It's so great it makes me sigh and slightly annoyed because now I'm trying to figure out if I should lose another 20 hours of my life playing a game I've already completed.
20 hours?
I don't know. I'm just picking a number out my arse. All right, calm it.
I just remember you playing it before, and I think it was more like 100.
It's a good bit longer than 20.
Quite possibly.
I am
yeah.
gutted.
How so?
I was absolutely devastated at this news.
How so?
Because the way things have been going recently, it's any game that's been upcoming and coming out, you've been getting, there's been a prequel on the Xbox 360. They've been using that as the kind of the tool to push for pre-orders. So it's like I've just been sitting around waiting for the announcement for Red Dead 2, and that will come when you get Red Dead. I mean,
Yeah,
I've
I know what you
actually
mean.
already got it digitally, so like, as soon as Friday hits, it'll appear on my machine. So it doesn't actually affect me in any way. But I was waiting for that being the announcement of
Yeah.
as soon as Red Dead 2 comes out, you'll get Red Dead Redemption on backward compatibility at that point. And now they're going, oh no, you're going to get it on Friday, which means fuck knows when we're going to see Red Dead 2. Obviously not anytime soon, or they would have held back the backwards compat on this. So it's like, in a way, I'm absolutely fucking gutted.
So if we stop greeting about the lack of Red Dead Redemption 2 and get back to the original question.
No, that is
Would you like
my entire
Red Dead
take on it.
Redemption? I suppose is the first question.
I can take any piece of news and turn it into a pisser. Trust me, I will do it for the next 45 minutes. Hour and 45 minutes, however long I happen to be here. Watch me. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
No, I never
and
played it through.
I played it.
Really?
Through, I played it through again about maybe 6 months ago or something,
Ah, cool.
and it is still like, yeah, pick it up. You won't be disappointed. It is beautiful. There's a point halfway through the game. This is like, and unfortunately, you never see this streamed because of music copyright bullshit issues.
Oh,
But-
you told me about this, Dee.
As you cross over into Mexico for I think technically the second time, but it's the first time you ride into Mexico, and the game just goes silent. And I don't remember.
It's
the
Jose
piece of music. Yeah,
Gonzalez.
and it is absolutely immense. It is just one of those moments where you just sit there completely at peace at camp and just strolling through this gorgeous mountainside. Not quite.
Oh, dude.
These gorgeous ranges with the music is it touched me in ways that are probably inappropriate for my age at the time. Absolutely.
It's
astounding.
both
It really was.
cinematic because you're just kind of sauntering on your horse, as Marty says, in the kind of mountainous parts of what is supposed to be Mexico, and you've got the kind of sun in front of you. I can't remember if it's like a sunset or a sunrise, but it's certainly picturesque, and this kind of beautiful kind of music in the background. And not only is it kind of cinematic, it's almost the kind of thing, if you could live your life in the way that a movie was with music playing in the background,
This would be it.
it would exactly be that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I mean, it really does. It kind of encapsulates so many of the kind of traditional spaghetti western tropes in such a perfect way, and it's still just a good open world GTA game. Some folk rate this like way above the GTA games. Open world Rockstar games is what I meant to say there. But I mean, some folk kind of rate this way above any of the GTAs, and I've got to say I'm possibly one of them.
See, I don't know. I've no idea why I didn't play it. It looked just right up my street. I quite like that kind of world. I quite like the idea of it. Probably more appealing to me than GTA. I think just because GTA, I'm a weird when I can't play those games the way everyone else does. Because everyone goes, "That's hilarious! I just ran 10 people over and punched a hooker." I'm the nice guy in games. I'm always the nice guy in games. I've literally almost I've completed The Witcher and the first DLC,
Yeah.
and pissed nobody off the whole time.
You need to be there first before you hit her with a baseball bat.
Exactly. That's my move. Yeah, that's my jam. So I never really got into GTA that much. So this appealed more to me because it looked like it was more story oriented. But yeah, no, I think it's one of those things. Everyone I've told I haven't played it yet keeps getting jealous and going, "You need to play it."
Oh,
So I think I've got a
awesome.
wee gift on my hands there.
It's awesome, and it's a great story, like start to finish, and the ending will have you going. It's just everything about it is, yeah.
Even the kind of the achievement / collectible stuff. One of the biggest ones in the game is like killing one of every animal in the game, basically, which is kind of satisfying from that kind of hunt, kind of manlust type thing. You're in that kind of character set in that environment, so it's kind of a natural thing to do because you're hunting. And down to one of the things I remember about the game was trying to get whatever I think you have to kill X amount, maybe it's like 2 of everything. I can't remember. And hunting the brown bear was one of the
So to
most
speak.
dangerous things you could do, because they were. I mean, you had to have a proper kind of proper shotgun, elephant gun, whatever it was you had to use. You had to do that, and the bears kind of, you wouldn't know where they were until it was sometimes a bit too late, and it was like a scene out of
The Revenant.
The Revenant.
Nice. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I think I've managed in all my years somehow of following game news and all that crap, not actually to have spoiled it for myself. So I'll give it a go, definitely.
The shooting mechanics have dated, I will say that. Like, if I'm going to be completely objectionable, if I'm going to be completely objective about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Words, yay!
See, he's right. He can turn anything into a pisser.
The shooting mechanics will take you a bit of will take a wee bit of getting used to, just because it's a bit clunky now. It shows its age, but that's all it shows its age, and it's not enough to put you off. Like,
Well, I've said the same about The Witcher as well. The Witcher's got some clunky controls, but you completely forget about it once you're engrossed in the thing.
Have they remastered it?
No.
no, it's just
Just a straight port?
straight.
port.
It is just backward compatibility, so it is just the Xbox 360 version.
You do keep hearing these people doing this, this game's coming backwards compatibility. Look at the improvements in performance, and you're sitting going, I don't know if that's the thing.
I mean, I've seen a bit in some, and it's nothing like, it's nothing vast, but you will see
Less screen tearing and stuff.
that's exactly what it is. It's usually screen tear. I've played games on the Xbox 360 and then played the backwards compatibility version, and that screen tear's gone. So it's maybe picking up a few extra frames that's going to eliminating that.
There's extra horses.
It's not something you visibly notice other than that, I don't think, personally. But that is enough, to be honest. Like, there's some games that are really bad for screen tear in the 360, and you don't seem to get it in the backwards compatibility as much. So, there is a definite performance hike there. It's not vast, but it's noticeable, certainly. Aye.
Well, it tidily takes us on to, again, what's with the segues? This is meant to be tenacious at best. Tenacious at best with work as well. That'll be the, exactly. These tenacious at best. The release announcement this week as well of the BioShock collections coming out. A game that I thought was deadly with screen tear, maybe because of my PC rig or something, but I actually started playing that again on the PC 6 months ago, something like that, and I get terrible screen tear in that game. No idea why. I didn't get it in 1 or 2 or any other game on my machine, just that one was particularly bad.
To the any, I don't know, newbies that are tuning into this podcast that like enjoying learning things, and not other experienced people that should know better, but somebody explain what screen tear is.
Okay, so I believe it's the difference between the frame rate put out by a graphics card and what it's expecting to sync with the display on the other end. So what it does is, as you move, as you turn, like, as you say, for example, you're facing a direction, you turn 90 degrees, your camera pans, instead of getting a straight frame-by-frame refresh, it's framing top and upper and lower field of the screen. So it actually causes this kind of jitter. You can actually almost see like the screen shearing as it turns.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal. Is that a fair enough explanation, Zane?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the difference between the frame rate that's been putting out and the refresh rate of your telly or monitor. If they don't quite sync up, then you see literally that. The screen kind of tears as it's moving across. It'll just kind of one side will just kind of slide.
You'll see a certain amount of horizontal lines getting caused by it. You can actually see it kind of phasing down the screen as well when it happens. So, like on the PC, for example, like is it G-Sync they call that by NVIDIA?
Yeah, I think it's G-Sync monitors.
Yeah, they've got a kind of particular technology designed to completely cancel this out. Is the idea? If everybody's using smarter displays with like proper DVI and all that, then you've got two-way communication, which can help cancel out as well. But yeah, it's one of those things you probably on older generation we didn't even notice it was a problem as such. But as games get more detailed and there's more noise on the screen, it becomes more apparent. And also because the machines are trying to shift more pixels in sync, so it becomes that kind of headache. It's the same as like people overkill and like kind of motion blur and stuff like that. It's just one of those artifacts of getting faster and doing more at the same time.
Thank you very much. I'm sure our watchers have been enlightened.
I'm sure they're commenting in the YouTubes right now going, nope.
You're wrong. It's this. You're wrong.
Well, that's fine. If you have a comment to make, please make it in the comments and we will take it on board and strap it to a frisbee and throw it over a fucking rainbow. So
I won't be taking part, however, because I tried last week and it published my full name, so that'll not happen again.
Well, nobody knew you'd done that. Nobody knew that was you. You was giving it away. So,
Indeed.
okay. So, Bioshock Collection. Who's playing it? Is anybody going to play them again? Does anybody care? I do. I'm going to play all three.
I suppose I need to take a look. Like I say, this is the games where I just need to hand in my GamerGeek cards and go, sorry folks, like I'm a sham.
Have you played any of them?
I have played part of the first one and part of the second one and didn't go on with either. And I didn't even look at 3. I don't know what did it. I don't know what kind of stopped me getting into them, but something just didn't grab me. Like,
Back then, you were probably knee deep in Diablo and
I don't
WoW or
remember
something.
what I would
And
have been playing
shite
at the time.
taste. Bioshock is the best game that's ever been.
I mean,
You suck.
This is what I hear consistently, and have been hearing consistently for, I mean, how long now? Decade? Like, I just nah.
I know there was quite a few whiny bitches when it came to how hard it was to kill the big daddies early on in the game. So much so they released a patch for it.
really, I enjoyed
Yep.
the fights with the big daddies, although they're a pain in the ass. I kind of like that grindy fight.
I like the fact that they might not have been invincible, but they were kind of not far off it because you were aware straight off that they were something that you shouldn't be messing with. And
Yeah.
I like that because it just put the shitters right up you every time you fell into one of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Was it that, Zane? Too hard for you?
Too crunchy for you.
I mean, I think I only ever got as far as the second Big Daddy, so I mean, quite possibly, yeah. We also do need to put a PSA that a grindy fight is only actually allowed if the girl says yes.
Wow. Public service announcement, courtesy of Zane.
Just thought I'd better throw that out there.
I think you should throw it out and just leave it out, shut the door
Yeah.
and lock the windows.
Yeah, when's your bin's getting picked up?
Put it in the next door neighbours, they'll not notice. Put bricks on top of it.
Apparently, if you have the games already, I presume this is on Steam, that if you have
Yeah.
the games already, that the remastered version is free. Is this?
Yep, they're remastering 1 and 2, but not remastering 3 because it was already late enough generation. It was only 2013, so that's late enough generation anyway. So,
Yeah.
but the first 2 are getting an overhaul, textures and all that jazz. So,
Okay.
it'd be quite cool to see them in nice, crispy 1080p.
Well, I mean, I suppose I guess that's my excuse for getting back into them then, because it only cost me anything to take a look at the remasters, because I've got the originals. So, yeah, I'll give it another go.
Did you see the guy doing the speed run? I don't know where the link came. It popped up on Reddit. A guy doing a speed run, and one of his mates had had basically spoofed the "thanks, you're now upgrading to Windows 10" thing to pop up in the middle of his speed run and his streaming. And he went mental, and they basically just trolled him with it. I thought that's genius.
Perfect.
So that ties up quite nicely. D, you gonna be buying again?
Oh, yes.
Oh, thumb.
Also,
Actually, I would actually quite like to do that. That'd be quite a good laugh to just like get a couple of beers in and just kind of play through it together, just sit and kind of play through it just for the story kind of thing. Great, fancy that cracking game. Also, I'm going to buy another Xbox so that we can actually get more couch co-op going.
sweet.
Definitely, because it's so few games to proper couch co-op on now.
I'm also quite happy that we talked about Big Daddy and didn't bring up Giant Haystacks.
You still broken about that one?
Because the only folk that would know what the hell I'm talking about is probably you, pair. So,
Yeah. Look up Giant Haystacks. There's your Google homework for the night. Don't look up Big Daddy as well, but if you're scared of 50-year-old overweight men in spandex, then probably you should.
maybe not a good idea.
Now, would you kindly stop talking about wrestling?
Hey, okay. Moving forward, what else have we got? Batman Arkham, Return to Arkham. Sorry, this is the collection, isn't it, Zane?
Yeah. So the collection minus Arkham Origins, because that wasn't Rocksteady, and apparently it's gone bye-bye, and no one really seems to know why.
Really?
Well, it's been delayed, but it's been delayed indefinitely.
That's not a good start, is it?
You know, whatever the hell that means. So, I mean, they were talking about it and they were pushing it quite hard. The remasters, that is. And then just completely out of the blue, just kind of announced, yeah, it's been put on hold, and it's been put on hold indefinitely. There were screenshots released, and a lot of them looked good, a lot of them looked really quite smart, and then others, I think,
There was like downgrades in the graphics.
yeah, I mean, okay, this is where I screw everything up. Oh, there we go, it worked. Oh my god. This was the kind of main one that came out, so... Yeah, PS4 version, what the hell is with that beard? I mean,
It looks like he just shaves I don't know, a Pomeranian and stuck it on his face.
it's like it's got
It's a bit Amish.
literal caterpillars for eyebrows, and yeah,
Even skin texture's awful.
it's like if you switched that PS3 for PS4 up the top of those two images, no one would blink an eye. Everybody would go, "Ah, that's right, that looks."
That looks great, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if they're scared. I don't know if they get scared off by the whole Batman, Arkham City. Was Arkham City the last one?
Arkham Knight, the one that
Arkham
went all
Knight,
the way up for
sorry.
PC.
Yeah, I don't know if they just get scared off by the whole backlash with how bad. And let's face it, that was fucking bad. That took how many months? But 5 months.
5 months or so, yeah.
And then it still wasn't fixed. It was still buggy as hell. It was still.
It's
causing
fine on the
frame rate
PC. It
issues.
was fine on the consoles, was it not?
PS4, it was fine. Yeah.
It's fine in the Xbox as well, but apparently on PC it's just an absolute bin. You know, if somebody do AMD chipsets or something.
Well, it was happening on both. I mean, it was happening on the videos as well. So
Ah.
at first, they thought that's what it was. But no, I mean, there was reports started coming in for both, and it was just as bad, and it was complete and utter shambles.
But for a game public, I mean, that's bad when you see Warner Brothers pulling their game.
Yeah,
That's unheard of. As far as I'm aware, that's unheard of, a game of that scale, a AAA title like that.
I mean, it should have been. It should never have come out in the first place.
Mhm.
And
Like,
that was,
did they give refunds?
eventually, I think Steam's refund policy had come out by that point, literally a couple of weeks before, which was
Backfire.
fortunate. Because that was the thing. Is like because they actually had that in like one of their first press releases about the whole thing. Is like, oh yeah, and you can get a refund on Steam for it now, and it's like, yeah, yes you can, but that's got fuck all to do with you guys. But never mind.
Yeah, exactly.
That was just a happy coincidence.
Did you play the other ones?
Yeah. I mean, I've played through all of them, including Origins, which is it's a shame it's not getting included in the remaster because it's actually a pretty decent game as well.
I only finished the first one. It's the only one I played, and I finished. I quite enjoyed it. I'm not sure why I didn't. I'm not really the biggest Batman guy anyway. I mean, he's one of my more. I would put him in front of a lot of other superheroes in terms of that kind of thing, but it's not the game type didn't really go for me at the time. I'm not a big fan of the kind of brawler thing. I'm more a stealthy kind of guy, or out and out C4 blowing everything up kind of thing.
Yeah. Nah, I loved them all. I thought they were absolutely fantastic. But then again, I am pretty much biased. It's like I'm trying to get ears that I can just stick onto this thing.
Do not give me a crafts task because I will get that shit. I'll be the midnight paper mache guy just gluing shit to your head.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's not been that long. I mean, I suppose it's been long enough since the first one came out that a remaster would have been good to get a hold of for this. But, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm personally not that gutted about it. The games don't look bad enough that you can't go back and play them. I suppose
Yeah.
if you've got the hardware, that is.
Did you play them?
Which one's that? Sorry.
In the Batmans, the new generation Batman?
I think I played the first two. I remember playing the first one and quite enjoying it, and then I played the second one. I can't remember any names.
Arkham Asylum was the first one. Was Arkham City the second one?
Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, then
Origins, then Night.
and then Night.
Yeah, so I played the second one. I think I completed that, and then I don't know. For some reason, I just haven't been interested in the third and therefore fourth one.
Mhm.
So they were okay. I kind of liked the whole detective mode thing, but I'm aware that changed for the third one.
Did it?
I'm sure that changed significantly, or am I making that shit up?
No, it did change a bit. I mean, it was a wee bit more in depth, and that's kind of they pretty much stole it for the fourth one as well and evolved it a bit more in the fourth game. But I mean, as far as still seeing enemies and all the rest of it, it was still all there. But they turned it into more kind of that kind of puzzle aspect. You could start to rewind time and things and actually see like I'm trying to remember any of the actual puzzles itself.
You talking about the Riddler stuff and all that jazz?
No, I wasn't so much in that. Yeah, I mean they changed it. No, I wouldn't say they changed it greatly, but they did make changes. Personally, I think they kind of made changes to the better. It was.
So I don't know. I mean, the kind of Riddler challenges with the ones where you had the question mark, where you had to line it up, I kind of quite enjoyed that. And then, I mean, I don't know if they were the creators of that particular type of puzzle in game, but then the only other time I've seen that was in Watch Dogs, where you had a Q code that you had to line up.
Yeah.
And that just and immediately I was just like, hang on, this seems familiar.
Yeah, I can't think anywhere that did it before that, to be honest. Or to that extent, it was always just go and pick up the wee shiny thing in the corner up until the Batman ones, where they'd put actual puzzles, just kind of randomly in there.
So let's, on that note, then, can I ask a question of the variety of what is your favourite and least favourite in-game minigame? And no D's least favourite minigame of all time.
Enlighten me.
Anything that involves a lockpick. Rage, the pure rage that comes out is incredible. Fucking lockpicking, I believe is the term.
Well, it took me a while to master the one in Dying Light, and then eventually I did get it. The unfortunate thing is I haven't
Still
played
hate
it. I haven't played it in about 3 or 4 months, and then on whatever Saturday night or whenever it was,
Well tinkled.
I was absolutely slaughtered, and I was having trouble just walking around the environment. And back to lockpicking. Couldn't remember how to do it, and back to what the is that?
It's actually funny. I said to Zane, I says, I don't think D was that keen on this game, and he said, no, he just couldn't function.
Well spotted.
Yeah,
Completely accurate.
Just drunk and tired, I think, was
Correct.
the problem.
I think we did really well, considering how drunk we actually were. We were functional, got into a game, played for a good bit, but the kind of chat was funny because it was very unilateral. Somebody'd say something, and then somebody'd wait a minute or two, then say something completely separate. It was brilliant. Zane, I think you were the only sober one at that particular party.
Yeah, I was trying damn hard to catch up, trust me.
You needed a bigger boat, Chief. But so minigames, you hate the locks. What minigames did you like, Dave?
Yeah, I'm struggling.
I'm trying to think actually.
The one I really liked actually was back to BioShock. I loved the BioShock pipe one. I thought it was great fun.
Yeah, so that was kind of like, there's been quite a few games now, but I remember a game like that coming out for the Amiga, which was Pipe Dream, I think.
Do you know, I was trying to remember what the hell that was called. That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's what that instantly reminded me of. So I mean that was kind of pretty fun.
I'm gonna get that. There must be an app version. I want that in my face.
I mean, a lot of in-game games that I hate. I mean, we can even go back into, if you look at Grand Theft Auto, or even our kind of beloved aforementioned Red Dead Redemption, where you've got stuff like dice, like chucking dice and gambling on that, and then in Red Dead Redemption, and was it Grand Theft Auto? Oh no, it's Watch Dogs I'm thinking of again, where you've got the street shuffle 3 cups, whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, sure.
One man 3 cups.
That wasn't Watch Dogs, bro.
I hate all that kind of stuff. Like if you're going to do stuff, at least make it slightly entertaining. Another one Red Dead Redemption had was tossing horseshoes, and it was just shit. It was just badly executed. If you're going to have an in-game game, then do it well. It's like Grand Theft Auto, whatever the one before the last one was, where you had
the last one's called 5. No, I didn't think of one of me.
I wasn't sure if it was 4 or 5. I remember there was a V in the title, and then started thinking 1V. I was like, oh no.
Romans, run away!
the one with the Eastern European chap in it.
Grand Theft Harder.
So they had, I mean, darts. I mean, what to fucking do, Nigel? I mean, playing darts as an game.
Let's go bowling.
And the bowling was the other one. They were pish. The only fun thing about the darts one was you were in a pub and then you could get drunk, and it had the best kind of physical reaction to being drunk in a game you've ever experienced. It was so annoying.
It's the fact you could just fall over and smack into a car at high speed was hilarious.
Oh, it was just that was horrible. So I'm trying to think if I've ever enjoyed any in-game game.
Did Mass Effect have an in-game game?
No. Nope.
No, the lockpicking and that was really annoying as well.
See, there's all this overdeveloped stuff as well. Like you've got, I know that, like obviously Gwent in The Witcher.
I knew this is where this was going.
No. The question I was going to ask is, did see Hearthstone? Did Hearthstone come from being? Was that an in-game game as well, or was that just built around the world?
Yeah, no, that was just a small team going, let's see what we can do.
Cool.
They basically spent years in company playing Magic the Gathering, and a lot of them were really big fans of that. And a small team was assembled to kind of see what they could do on a small scale, because up to that point Blizzard had just been making big fuck off games. They'd been making MMOs, and they had just come off a failed from making Titan, was their new big MMO.
Oh, I remember that. That was apparently a really weird case of a game just completely going wrong during dev.
Yeah, I mean, Blizzard's done that quite a few times actually, to their credit, where they've just went, you know what, this isn't fun, this isn't working out, let's just scrap it and start again. I don't think they actually started again in this particular thing in case. I think it became Overwatch.
Oh, right.
But yeah, I mean, that was the thing, and I think they were just looking at, well, what can we do what can we do on a small scale?
Yeah, smart business though. They actually kind of know when to stop.
Yeah, and that's where Hearthstone came from. So it was never like an in-game part of WoW or anything else. It was
Got
just,
yeah.
But
you don't have a particular standout kind of.
I don't. I mean, this is the thing. I'm too much of a stories guy, and it's like if the side game interferes with the story, it usually pisses me off to hell. And if it doesn't, I don't really think of it as being a side game. Like, it doesn't really register. It's just part.
If it integrates well, it's part of the game. Yeah.
It's a good thing about the Red Dead you're talking about, where you've got the poker and you've got that stupid fucking horseshoe pain in the arse. What was that?
Is it that bad? Should I just avoid this completely?
And you had Liar's Dice, I think was the other one.
That's the one.
But you didn't need to play them. I think there was one story arc where you had to play like maybe 3 hands of poker, and that was it. That was the only time it actually affected like the game itself. Yes, if you want to do that and you want to throw them in and just make the world a wee bit bigger, broader, batter in, as long as they don't actually interfere with the game, don't really have an issue with it. At the same time, you're like, why are you even bothering putting these in here if they don't affect your game? But it's kind of 50-50, I suppose.
Yeah.
What was the Call of Duty one that the start screen you were sitting in a chair? Was that the first Black Ops?
I think it was Black Ops.
So that had 2 Easter egg games in it from the title screen, from that screen. So if you waggled your kind of thumbstick and you broke off your kind of shackles, you could walk about. There was 2 things. There was a top-down shooter, I'm sure, and then there was a command-based game, which was that kind of go west in the forest type of stuff.
So just look at the YouTube chat there. It confused me a little bit. Yeah, so I think that what was that even? There was the one with the kind of it was a top-down 2-stick shooter, was it?
Yep.
And what was the other one?
It was just that command line. You're in a forest.
Lost
by yourself
or something like that.
Yeah, go north, go west, and open up a dog kind of command.
Open up a dog using what? Tin opener, a dog opener. Yeah, that was kind of weird. But I like those wee kind of things because there's also one in Nuketown as well. And was it the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Might be. What one's the one that's got?
Nuketown was in the 3rd Modern Warfare, I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
It was after the 2nd one, anyway.
There was one where you could actually go up to a little screen if you shot off all the heads and the mannequins, and you could go and play a screen in the corner with old Activision games on it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So it's kind of nice little kind of Easter eggs. But I think that just the idea of Easter eggs is always fun, because especially if it's a game you love, you can find something new in it. But the kind of mini games thing, that's why when I was talking about Gwent earlier about the whole Witcher thing, I hated Gwent. Everybody loves it. I just didn't have the arse for it, and exactly for the same reason as Zane was saying, I want to play the story. And I was just very glad that other than failing maybe a handful of missions because I didn't go and collect somebody's Gwent cards, it didn't force it down my throat. It was like, oh, would you like to play Gwent? You don't have to play Gwent, but if you like Gwent, there's lots of Gwent. So that was cool. But yeah, I don't really kind of. I think the only one I kind of remember most fondly was probably the one from BioShock with the kind of the pipes. I always like those kind of wee games. Wee bit of stress, wee bit of puzzle, good times.
I'm just trying to find some articles about in-game games at the moment, just to see if it stirs up any memories of.
Stir up the lines.
Yeah, that as well.
Just thought I want Crash Bandicoot.
What was it? Sin game?
That bloody Crash Bandicoot
Oh, and
inserted into Uncharted.
Yeah.
The only reason I hate it is because it's now on record, it's now on my channel, just how much I suck at Crash Bandicoot.
I can play 300 hours of Tomb Raider, but please God, don't give me Crash
I
Bandicoot.
just don't fucking have me running towards the screen. No.
Yeah, and I noticed in that latest video that they actually did that way, and you're running away from an explosion. They made
Yeah,
you
with
look for the screen.
Turn Drake into Crash. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
you sons of bitch, you cheeky bastards. You're so pushing it.
This is interesting.
Kudos
Did
for that.
anybody ever play download Geometry Wars?
No, you were quite a fan of that, weren't you?
Yeah, well, it was all right for like kind of half an hour, but so Geometry Wars was a
So
kind
not a
of,
fan then. It's all right.
It was like the arcade Asteroids game literally on acid inside a rave back in the 80s. Before that was its own game. That was actually a mini game inside Project Gotham Racing 2.
What?
There you go.
Who knew?
I
There you go.
was not
Fact
aware
for
of
the
that.
day. 10 years fact for the win. I know we've been talking about games and actually some positive things and things we've enjoyed about games. Shall we go into the uglier side of gaming with some chat about the current YouTube debacle with CS:GO?
Let's pause it a second.
Okay.
Just purely because Inside, I want to hear about it first. I want to stick.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to stick to the happy because I haven't picked this game up yet.
Ah, right, okay. Well,
know you-
Inside's not what I'd call a happy game. It's
Well,
bleak as hell.
aye.
It's not as bleak as YouTube at the moment. It's bleak though.
You know the truth.
Have
Have you played it yet, D? Because I know you were a big Limbo fan. He's not here anymore.
No, it seems
He has
interesting.
left the building.
Sorry, what was the question?
Inside. I know you were a big Limbo fan. Have you played the new...
Yes, I thoroughly enjoyed Limbo. I've given Inside, I don't know, 15 minutes of my life so far. Just as a kind of quick taste. 2D, I suppose, is the first one. So they've added a bit of depth, a little bit of colour. And instead of you being, I suppose, lost in a forest, it looks like there's going to be some sort of, I don't know, lab experiment, something at some point. So kind of the difference in feeling for me is that whereas it was it seems like you were in limbo and literally in a state of limbo with kind of weird characters kicking about in the first one, and this one appears to be human beings. So you're playing a little boy again, and it almost seems more sinister that kind of human beings are just kind of gunning down or attacking a little boy running through the woods at the moment. You don't really know what you're doing. So it adds that little bit of kind of, I don't know, just a different wee edge to it.
That looked pretty cool. You played it right through, haven't you, Kay?
I've finished it twice.
Twice.
Yes.
Awesome.
I rather enjoyed it mainly because, as Dee's saying, it's very much let me just get my beard out. Look, getting my beard right out. I'll get my beard out for this one. That's where my rating system, right? See if I get my beard out, I like it, right? That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, my beard getting nerfed along with the rest of the country.
It did a bit. Did yours leave with the EU membership?
That's it. The rest of my beard's just called for independence, and
See, what we'll actually do is
Fucked
we'll get D. D's actually not got. He's actually got a red afro, and it's taking up the whole background. So that's good. But Inside, I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed Inside. I thought it was incredible. I get where D's coming from in the sense that it was very it felt very limbo in the start. I think what I would recommend if you're going to play it though is sit down with the time to play it right through. You need about 3 hours all in, so it's not the longest of games, but get your 3 hours in, lights down, sound speakers right nice and loud, so you're right comfortable in the middle of it, and just kind of drink it. And it's a really weird experience. It's creepy. It's kind of haunting. It could probably induce a panic attack in the wrong person because just the way it kind of uses sound and kind of like the visual design and the pacing and all that stuff.
Well, that was one of the things that I think was underrated in Limbo was the kind of the sound design. Albeit technically or theoretically simple, it was just exceptionally well done.
Yeah, less is more and all that.
Yep.
So Inside has, as Dee was alluding to, has got many different. Again, I don't want to say too much and ruin it for anyone, but and whereas in a lot of these games, like one of the games that we talked about previously was Max the Curse of Brotherhood. Dee, remember that? Excellent little side platform scroller where its mechanism was to give you different skills as you went through the game. This is a little bit more here's some different tools that you can use for these parts of the game. So that was really cool. And as Dee said, as you can see the footage here, you've got this kind of, it's the little boy, which instantly puts you kind of on edge. And I think in a kind of like a sub-psychological way, it takes you back to being you're the child and makes you think about things from you being a child. So you get that vulnerability feeling, which is a really powerful choice in the main character. And there's something about the urgency and the way that everything moves that makes it really quite kind of scary, I guess. So, for example, in the footage you see just now, there's a bit where there's like some guys, you see these guys behind you with the torch. If those guys get triggered to run after you, there's this kind of janky motion in their run that's almost lifelike. So the game's obviously running like 60 frames a second, and that fluidity gives us really kind of jarring, like, oh my god, that guy's coming at me. And it really pulls you in, and it's an incredible game. That's not the only threat. There's all different kinds of threats throughout the course of the game, environmental and kind of otherwise. And I can recommend the game enough. It's creepy. It's beautiful to look at. The puzzles are a little bit simple, a little bit easy for my liking. But then again, I kind of walked Limbo as well. I don't know whether maybe just somebody with my mindset made these puzzles, but definitely worth every penny. And yeah, a lot of people were kind of saying, well, it was like £20 or £15, whatever it was, and it's 3 hours of play, but it's an easy 1000 G as well. So if you're into your achievements, it's worth that. But I would recommend it highly.
Awesome.
I shall get onto this and complete this, no doubt.
You simply must. It's a good, as I say, the one thing I will say about it is that, and I don't really have a complaint about it, I think it was what happens when you take a game and develop it in conjunction with an arts council. That's one hint I'll give you, in the sense that they're not going for, you're not getting your kind of indie guys making a game with a big this outcome or that outcome, or if there's a lot of interpretation throughout the game that kind of lets you draw the picture for yourself. Not everything's handed to you as a narrative, so that's what I kind of mean by that. But the one thing I will say for it is that you might find that it can be a little bit, it gets under your skin a little bit. I literally, after like 2 days after playing it, I still was thinking about the game. And it wasn't any one thing that stuck out to me, just something about the whole kind of atmosphere got under my skin. And I was very aware that this game was still on my mind. It's pretty cool that way, and it's not often you get that experience. So be interested to see what you guys think once you've finished it.
Yeah, I'll need to pick
Curious.
it up. I've not had time to look at it at all, and I knew it was that kind of game where you just want to kind of sit down and just do it, just get into it. So as soon as I get that space.
Yeah, don't do your thing where you stay up for 3 days straight making videos and then play that game, because I think it'll break your mind.
I think I'll just cry at the end of it.
Probably, actually. Yeah, but yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I couldn't recommend it enough. And my cat's trying to eat my microphone. Eddie, stop eating the microphone. Thank you. So I would give Inside a big thumbs up, personally. I see it's getting like 9s and 10s out of 10 from quite a lot of review sites and stuff. So, and then you've got a couple of guys who have just been kind of just going, oh, it's a 5. You're going, everybody's getting a 10, you're getting a 5. That's a little bit much. But yeah, I would give it a straight up 9, 10.
I think it's. Can you actually give a game 9 or 10 if it's only got 3 hours gameplay?
Yeah, I think you can, because
Okay. Have we just lost the call? You still there, D? D? I don't think D can hear me. Hey! One.
Yeah, so
Vandal K, would you care to describe
people.
what went wrong there?
There wasn't even a technical difficulty. Do you remember the point where I said my cat's eating my microphone? Well, he started chewing on the top of the microphone, which is fine because it's a steel microphone and it's about like 50 quid's worth of nothing super mental. So I thought it's steel, he's not going to do any damage. He decides to walk over, and where I've got my Xbox controllers and stuff sitting, and goes, that's a tasty cable. And I went, flicked my hand up and said, get out of the way, you. Decided to stand on top of my PC, which has got the little kind of, it's a Cooler Master case, and it's got a big like power button, but maybe an 1.5 inches long, and a tiny reset one about a third of an inch by a third of an inch, little square, and he just managed to go bunk right on top of it, and he hears beep, and I'm like, well, the screen's went black. That's curious. So yeah, cat killed the session. Apologies. Would
have been a much cooler story, as if you'd said that you were using Skype on your Xbox, and your cat had said Xbox off. Yes.
That would have been amazing. That would have been ludicrous at best. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. Bit of a comedy fuck up there. If you're going to have one, that's how you do it.
Yeah, sorry,
Zane's now got to mop up my mess.
sorry, my cat became sentient and bilingual and malicious all at once.
I would be more impressed by the fact that my Xbox actually understood my cat, because it doesn't understand me. Hey, Cortana, what? Nothing. Bonkers. Anyway, yeah, so I'll stop breaking things in future, and I'm going to have a no cat space, because every episode the cat does something. Usually he's at the back window just going, "Meow," which is weird at best. That's also my best cat impression, in case that's not clear. Anyway, what were we talking about? Inside, we're talking about. Very good. That's adorable. How could you be upset at that? I like. Is that a reminder? Yeah. You're going to have to put us into extra time later on, D, because I just caused a penalty.
The hour is up.
And that's the only football joke you'll ever hear from me. Anywho, so we're talking inside. So, D, are you going to get in about it?
Yes, absolutely will do. Because I really did enjoy Limbo. Although this one's not immediately pulled me in as much as Limbo had. I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. Like you've kind of already hinted, though, I suggest that given the mindset with regards to problem solving, and from the initial start, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of the mechanics kind of seem the same, push and pulling objects and jumping over and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be that revolutionary when it comes to it.
That does change quite dramatically throughout the game.
Well, thanks for making me so wrong.
No, that's the thing, because when I played it, I thought, oh, it's just Limbo 2. And it's not that it changes. Well, yeah, it changes quite dramatically, and that it changes how the environment works and stuff like
Does
that.
it turn into a first-person shooter?
Yes, it does. No, it turns into get off my computer. So it's
actually Half-Life 3. They just didn't want to.
they're just hiding it really well. It changes the environment. It changes. Yeah, I can't say too much. It's one of those don't break it things, you know. Have you got a massive volleyball in your hand? Have you went Super Saiyan?
I was just seeing what it looked like. I put my hand over the light.
It's just a light. I thought it was like the sun coming through the voiles of your Moroccan tent. Brilliant. You could be the child from the Teletubbies.
Head eclipse.
You're a weird guy, D. This makes for a really good audio podcast as well.
Don't it just?
Don't worry, if you listen to this, you can actually go on YouTube and see what the hell he's. Well, basically, if you were thinking about if somebody get a light behind them and use their head to pretend they're creating an eclipse, that's exactly what you're getting here. We're going to have to do like closed captions for all this bonkers. I was kind of hoping you'd have fallen over or something and screwed the podcast as well, but it's your turn. Anyway, moving forward swiftly and carefully with equal measure, can we now talk about the elephant in the room that is CSGO and the impending death of all nicety in YouTube?
Yeah,
Have
I
you heard
guess.
anything about any of this?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Expand.
Xenothons, take it to the people.
Oh, Christ.
I want to see him going on a raid rant, that's all.
Okay, so, and it really is one of those ones. It's okay. Everything I do is YouTube, so you get caught up week in, week out with drama, YouTube drama, infighting, folk just picking at each other for views, sensationalist bullshit. Problem is, every now and then, in amongst all that shite, an actual story just kind of appears and rears its head. That seems to have been the case in the past week, where a couple of YouTubers they've been around for a good while and basically doing Let's Plays and whatever else, and they started doing Let's Plays of CSGO.
Is this the gambling stuff?
This is
Yeah.
gambling stuff.
Ah.
Yeah.
Do have you played CSGO?
Everybody's heard about this.
No.
It's just Counter-Strike Global Offensive, as it's called.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, basically how this entire thing works is within that game you can win crates, you can win boxes, and within the boxes themselves are skins for your guns to make your killing death machine look nice and pretty.
Like a 9 cap, your MP5 kind of thing.
Yeah, and so the guns themselves have a monetary value thanks to Steam having its own marketplace where you can trade these guns. Now, what's happened is around these guns having a monetary value, there are third-party sites come out of the woodwork where you can essentially gamble on the skins. So, and it's essentially the same as kind of gambling with cash, except it's skins that you're gambling with. So you put your skin, which is worth X amount of money, into a pot, and depending on the value of it, you get so many tickets, so to speak, as to so many chances to win the pot. So if you throw in a cheap skin, you might get one chance to win it. If you throw in a really expensive skin, you can maybe get 10, 15, 20 chances to win it. So you're putting in a bigger claim into the pot, you're putting in a bigger amount of money, but you've got more chances of winning it.
It's a raffle.
Yeah, and then the site itself takes X amount off the top. I think 8% was the...
Hello! Is that us back now?
Okay, we should be coming back up.
There we go. Looks like we're catching up.
We are alive again, apparently.
Yay! I don't know. I think Zarek on the chat channel called it exactly. He says, I think we're being blocked because of what they're talking about. I think that's all right. I mean, yeah, I think that's a kind of shitty side of the situation in the sense that there's a lot of folk that love playing games, but you seem to find that there's a real poison that comes out of people either using human nature, I guess, to milk a situation, or I think what you were getting at with you're talking about just now, sorry, with the these guys putting this kind of... Well, they're not the only guys. I think there's other people other than CSGO Lotto.
There are, yeah, I mean, there's plenty of other companies doing this. This one in particular is coming up at the moment because what's actually happened is these two particular streamers, so T Martin and Pro Syndicate, basically go onto their sites, onto their YouTube channels, and promoting this particular website. Yeah. Showing them playing the website and winning big. And then it turns out they actually own the company. They own CSGO Lotto and just didn't bother to mention that anywhere whatsoever. And you're like, yeah, cheers guys, as if this isn't hard enough. You just need to go and break break the law, essentially. Like there are FTC...
FCC regs or trade regs on that?
Yes, there are FTC guidelines for if you're being sponsored or if you are part of a company, or you must disclose it. You must make it clear. This is the thing. It's like YouTube's been a Wild West for a while, and people still seem to think that it is, but it's no. Okay, the regulations aren't quite watertight yet, but they're there. And the general key is transparency. Be transparent in all that you do. If you are taking sponsorship from a company for one of their games, declare that fact.
Put advert at the bottom of the screen.
Because if you don't, it is illegal. You could be fined.
Well, the thing I see in the real world, though, the thing that everyone gets upset about is the legality, which of course is the main factor here. But I think the real hurt is actually, and I don't mean it in a kind of literal sense, but I mean in the sense that the real hurt for the people involved, the people who it matters to, is all the kids out there and the folks that have been tuning into this all day. Absolutely followed these guys and were big fans of them. It's like finding out you were actually being paid by Uncharted to get shot in the face off of shotgunners. You still twitch after you hear that? I was actually going to make you a T-shirt that says "I effing hate shotgunners" on it.
Oh, fucking hate those shotgunners.
But that's the thing. It's the damage of trust. Because the thing that YouTube was meant to be this kind of new world media where we could talk directly to each other and have no editorial and have it be as genuine as it could be. And the people who you kind of spend hundreds and thousands of hours watching, playing games and chatting with on streams and everything else, that's pretty cold. I think that's the real hurt in terms of a kind of any lasting effect, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And ironically, a lot of those folk will defend them to the hilt forever anyway. even though it is quite clear where the wrongdoing is and what it is, what it is they're actually doing that is wrong, and they have scammed the hell out of you.
Yeah.
And be under absolutely no doubt they have scammed the hell out of you.
Yeah.
They have sat there, you look at the first video. I mean, the fact that they've taken the videos down, the fact that they just maybe not delete them from YouTube, but have made them private. You can no longer see these videos. Where in the very first one, T. Martin, for example, is talking about how he found this site, not founded, which is the actual truth, but found this site, and is now. I went on and he won $69, and it wasn't a lot of money, but it was such a great feeling. And so I've been talking to these guys on Twitter, talking to these guys being himself because he owns the fucking company.
Yeah, it's obfuscation at that point.
About getting a sponsorship, and you go, that is just out and out lies to your fan base for absolutely no reason. But I mean, like I said, the whole YouTube drama side of it, I don't actually want to get into. That's my piece. That's there's plenty of folk out there that are going to tear them down for that, and they deserve to be. But I can't be arsed with it personally.
Yeah, adding on to it.
What it does bring up for me, what I do actually get annoyed at, is the bigger picture of these gambling sites in general, not just CSGO Lotto, but all of these sites around Counter-Strike. In order to go into these sites, because it is not real money, because what you're putting on the line is skins, and what you're winning are skins, the regulations for any other gambling site don't apply.
Yeah.
So in order to have a Steam account, you supposedly need to be 13. Now, Counter-Strike, I think you need to be 18, but who checks that when you're actually buying the game?
I think as long as a kid can circumvent a drop-down box, you're good.
Yeah, and that's where the issue is for me, is where is the regulations for that? When is that going to step up? And when are they going to shut down these fucking sites? Because any 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, any adult wants to go and gamble, they'll go and gamble. And here's the thing, they're not going to do it in CSGO because it's convoluted and it's a pain in the arse. You need to go into a game, get a box, you've got to buy the key to unlock the box for was it $2.50 to actually unlock the box to get your skin.
Yeah.
So Steam are making money out of it, Valve are making money out of it.
Well, that's what I was going to kind of move on to and say then was, why are these games kind of enabling these kind of transactions to kind of happen? How would it benefit them? But if there we go. I mean, it's obviously increasing the amount of many transactions then.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Valve could stop it like that. All they need to do is turn off the API and not allow
the API
and not allow these sites access to it. So you can't sign into the gambling sites with your Steam account, which means you can't transfer the skin across. You can't you can't log into the third-party sites that give you deal cash for them. But the problem is, you don't actually even need to go into the game to get these boxes. You can go into Steam's own marketplace. You can put real money into your Steam wallet, go into a Steam marketplace and buy just the crates and the keys, unlock it, get the skins, go on and then straight into the gambling site and gamble. So people are buying up boxes, people are buying up the keys, Steam are getting money for that, people are buying the game in order to go in and get boxes that way, and they still need to buy a key to unlock it, so Steam are getting money from that as well. So they've got absolutely no reason whatsoever to clamp down on this, apart from the fact that it is morally fucking bankrupt.
Yep.
That's the reason you should be stopping it.
Yeah.
Because the only people going onto these sites are people who aren't old enough to gamble legitimately. Because you wouldn't do it otherwise.
Because if you're earning more than £10 a week, you're looking at all that hassle to get £10 worth of skins. Go, nah, I'm good.
No, yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's so that, the only people that are going to be using these sites are kids, as far as I can see. I may be wrong if you're using them and you see it otherwise, but batter in, the comments are there, let me know, correct me. But I just go, logically, why would you go into that site and go through a convoluted mess of having to go into the game, get the boxes, get the skins, then go into this site, gamble the skins, to then get your winnings to go to another site to get your money, when you can do it all legitimately if you're over 18 on any normal gambling site? The whole thing is just for kids. The whole thing is just to allow kids to gamble.
Yeah.
And that's fucking wrong. I don't care who you are. That's fucking wrong. And Valve need to step in. They need to stop this. And they can do. Like that.
Because they shut the API down, that's the end of it, isn't it?
And you're not going to tell me that's going to cripple Valve.
Nothing
Do
to
you know what I mean?
Valve, is it?
Yeah, it's still like this is their only fucking earnings.
Yeah, I literally don't game on my PC, and I've got probably 30 games in my Steam library.
I mean, it is absolute fucking greed on their part, and it is disgusting. And hopefully, when people stop crucifying this pair, who, again, don't get me wrong, deserve to be crucified,
Yeah.
but hopefully, once all that's done and blown over with, they'll actually move on to the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there is absolutely no other reason for these sites to exist. And it is just, you're taking advantage of children.
Yeah, it's exploitation is what it is.
Yes. Da 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 da. Da.
Hey!
Ran over.
You better.
Nah, not even close.
Not even till
Well-
that shit's fixed.
No, but we've got a show to do. I'm sure this will come up again. I'm sure somewhere down the line.
Aye, undoubtedly. Well,
We'll
the thing is,
revisit
you
it,
said,
but-
this week's been a fun one. I was reading some stuff this week about like folk stalking YouTubers and all that stuff as well. It just seems like a really negative week for YouTube. I don't know why. I think everybody's upset with Batman's been delayed. Everybody's pissed off with that. Everybody's fed up with getting cornered off of Microsoft because they don't want Windows 10, right? Then you've got they brought out Inside, which is as stunning as it is bloody depressing, and it's just a bunch of sad negative things. It just seems like, and I think No Man's Sky was the kind of the final nail in the coffin. So I think we'll just have to leave gaming there because that's quite a depressing slice of the internet. Do you want to add anything else to gaming before we move forth?
I'm just reading their comments on the kind of YouTube videos just to kind of get a feel for it. And
Don't read comments to YouTube videos. That's nuts.
I've actually never done this before. It's quite
Oh
entertaining.
my god.
Trust me, dude, that's a hole from which you will never recover.
It takes. I think it always takes maybe three layers deep before somebody mentions Hitler. It's one of those ones. The language is colourful, to say the least. Yeah, but what you see anything good?
Yeah, my favourite one being, have you still got that girlfriend? If so, I hope she's got a strap on so she can prepare you for jail.
I noticed that the guys involved in that actually did shut down all their comments and stuff and all their videos.
Yeah, it's all
can you
disabled
believe-
on all the videos, but you've got a discussion part on the channel which is seems to be rife with the comments.
Ah, cool.
They forgot about that bit.
So, anybody else get anything else to add before we move on to movage? We've only got a wee bit of moving news, nothing major this week. So
Has anybody heard of the game Valley?
Ali.
I saw a trailer for it where it was like kind of some weird endoskeleton creature thing jumping about in what looks like Halo-style fields.
Yeah, it's been the only reason why I'm kind of interested in it, and I've only seen a kind of a screenshot, is the fact that it's been compared as a kind of merge or fusion of Crackdown and Bioshock, with a little bit of Slender Man in it. So could be good. Maybe one to watch out for.
2 wee seconds, guys. Got AFK. Be right back.
Okay, well, so you're AFK, and then a couple of other bits of news. EA Access, or EA have announced their kind of EA Access Vault for the summer is going to include 3 new titles. One is Need for Speed Unravel, which is a game I know Kay had played. Did you have a shot of Unravel? Because it looked kind of cutesy, but I've not played it.
Yeah, again, I did not, for pretty much the same reasons I've not picked up Inside. It's a game that I kind of want to play through and probably need to do like kind of 1 or 2 goes, so I've just not had the time to. So yeah, not yet. So is this getting into EA Access as well?
Yeah, going into EA Access Vault as well, and the third game is Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I played one of those games once and just went, what the hell is this all about? And switched it straight back off again.
Yeah, apparently the second one's a lot better, but I don't know how, like, I never really liked the first one that much, so I don't know how much of a bar that is to raise. So this is the EA Access that I just cancelled this month.
That's exactly what it is as well.
That's there we go.
Because I'd I'd got that for a bit, didn't I? And it was the Need for Speed. Was it Pursuit, the one where you could go the kind of the cops as well? And I basically had an issue with my game, and basically the EA tech wiped all my game data while I was trying to resolve the problem without saying anything. And I basically lost about, I don't know, 15 hours of gameplay or something.
Oh, beautiful.
So I cancelled my sub.
Yeah. So it's one of those ones. I kind of cancelled it just now because I'm not really finding the use out of it. I'm not really getting anywhere. It's like at first it was fine because, well, it's 20 quid for the year. I don't remember what it is on a monthly basis, but you pay £20 for the year, and on top of that, any EA games you buy, you were getting 10% off. So the way I figured it, if there's maybe 5 games coming out within the space of a year that are EA titles that you know you're going to buy, then that's your 20 quid paid for, like in the discounts. You know, €5 for each game, and therefore you get all the rest of the games for free. So yeah, kind of worth it. But as it's turned out, there's not actually 4 or 5 EA games that I want to play in the space of a year.
So, unless you like all the sports games and stuff, then it's kind of don't get the full collection or the benefit of it.
Aye, that's it. So it's like it didn't really kind of work out for me. But I mean, I'm still not totally against it. Like I can see, I think the fact that they add in that discounts, so you can, if you wish, find a way to kind of negate the price. But I don't know. There's not enough EA games that actually do it for me. Maybe on the PC there might be more because you start getting into like kind of there's other kind of broader ranges like The Sims and whatever. I presume I've not looked at EA Access in the PC, but there's kind of other games on the PC specific for EA that you're not going to get on the console on the 360. That 360 on the Xbox One even that might make it worthwhile. But yeah, nah, I had to bin it. Wasn't it worth
What are we
it for
talking?
me. EA Access.
Oh yeah, I actually thought it was okay. It would have been better if I'd got it earlier on because I've got a couple of games I do go back to once in a while that I already owned on disc of all things before it came out. So Need for Speed Rivals, Titanfall. I quite like to have a wee burst of those once in a while, but I think it's not bad value. I think it's definitely a must. If you like sports games, it's a must.
I think that's the thing. If you like the NBA and the NFL games and the FIFA, and yeah, why the hell not?
Were you guys just discussing the new games that are getting added to it? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, well, Unravel's really good. I'd recommend that.
Okay.
It's like Limbo but cheery. Well, it's loaded with feels.
See, I was just saying, I kind of had the access and I just binned it after the Need for Speed debacle of them deleting my save data, so screw them.
I remember the rage you had with that, like actually on phone to support and all that.
You deleted my car.
The only other bit of games news just before we cut over, I suppose, was the stuff about Oculus Rift lifting the kind of the software that was blocking rival games being played using the headset. Now, you guys are more up to the VR stuff than me, so have you guys been ahead of this?
I mean, all I heard about this a couple of days ago, and apparently didn't even announce it. It was just in the last patch. They just quietly removed the DRM. And I mean, well, the last time we did a podcast 2 weeks ago, I said how that whole DRM thing was going to be the downfall of VR as far as I was concerned. So, they were also listening. And if you're listening to that, listen to this, quit the fucking Counter-Strike API and kill those sites, you bastards. Because I seem to have some sort of influence with Valve if they're dropping DRM after I ranted about it last week.
Also, I would like a big house and a helicopter. And
yes.
Dee said something about naked people falling for the sky. I don't know.
Yeah. If you want to give me a Steam review account, incidentally, I won't say no.
But they'll give you one, but you have to give them 843 skins.
Aye, just keep it up a month.
And I've only got 4.
Hey! We don't need plurals round here. Oh, mercy. But I know that was the thing, is because like you're talking about DRM last week. It's good they've pulled it out, but they should have kind of made more of a feature of it to say we've learned a lesson. No one else should do this as well. It's not that how many times they went mental with DRM and it's never worked? People always just been a backlash every time somebody's introduced DRM. The world was worse for DRM actually in the first instance was Sony.
Sony, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they were absolutely brutal for it. They had DRM on their goddamn Discman.
Were they not installing rootkits and all sorts of shit back in the day?
Right? The Discman software and their MP3 player software had rootkits built into it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was tragic.
You here have some music, but we're going to data mine you. Tools. Anyway, I think it's good if they've removed the DRM. I think the only way VR is going to catch on is if it's you've got a VR headset. Great, here's a game. That's the only way this is going to fly.
Yeah,
I think it's exactly as you said last week, Zane. It's death knell stuff.
Does anyone else think it was kind of stupid or even a missed opportunity for a bit of kind of a positive PA exercise, given the backlash, the fact that they didn't actually announce that and just kind of secretly or kind of brushed it under the carpet?
I think that there's that thing. We were talking about this previously, and I think the thing I likened it to was when Microsoft made a bunch of announcements at the E3 where they announced the Xbox One and said, "Oh, check out this, check out that. We're going to give your console always online," and everybody went mental. What are you talking about? Online or broadband in this country's crap, blah blah blah. And they went, "Okay, change their minds. We're going to do a U-turn on this." Nobody remembers that as Microsoft listening to their fans and going, "Do you know what? We were wrong. We're going to change it." Nobody remembers that way. They remember Microsoft were going to do that. They remember the fact that they did it. They call it the Xbox 180 because they did a U-turn on what they were doing.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at the positives that came out of it, they're looking at the fact that they had to make the U-turn. You kind of go,
ironically, instead of going, "Oh my god, they listened to us," I went, "Look, those pussies back down."
aye, it's
really, guys, really.
I think
in all fairness, Xbox 180 is great. The fact that came out of that was brilliant.
That'll be the next one. That's what Scorpio will be called. But no, I think that's the concern, is that, see the way the internet is. I mean, you look at Ghostbusters, they're just remaking a film, right? And all of a sudden it's got, like, I think, is it the highest disliked film on YouTube? I think it is. I don't know if it's beating Call of Duty in terms of YouTube dislikes at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think it's beating Call of Duty, but I think it is. I think it was the highest disliked movie trailer. Like,
yeah,
it wasn't just the most disliked on YouTube. It was like specifically movie trailer.
Yeah, it's just a movie though. It's just a film. Why is everybody so excited about it? So that's I think the concern is that you can't control the PR ones, because it's not like old media where PR could be spun and people would buy it. People are so bloody cynical now that they will just go on the attack. And I think they thought, let's just do this and leave it.
Yeah, they're trying.
So what's the issue? What's the issue with the Call of Duty trailer?
Have you not seen this? This is incredible. Yeah. Go on to YouTube. I'll actually want to see what it's like just now. Call of Duty.
See what the numbers are.
Warfare. See what the numbers are like. Infinite Warfare trailer. It is sitting at official 30 million views, 484,000 likes on the video, and what we're looking at?
3 million.
3 million dislikes. 3 million dislikes for a game that will guaranteed sell a buttload of units.
Oh.
Oh, great comment. Just as I'm going to get into this YouTube comment shit. The one right at the top is, have you heard of the new Call of Money, Recycled Warfare?
But 3 million.
Recycled Warfare.
But yeah, this has been like a running standard at the moment. People, there seems to be a real thing where people are kind of attaching themselves to some, as if it's some kind of usable metric that likes and dislikes are actually useful information. People just see a dislike and go, "Yes, I'm disliking that." We've got videos of our songs that, okay, you might not love our music or anything, but there's no need for the dislike on it. It's just a song.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, with this especially, it just becomes a dislike train after a while.
Yeah.
Folk just kind of jump on the bandwagon, and once it starts building up, it just keeps going and keeps going and keeps going. And then it's just funny to go in and log in daily and give it another dislike.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, tenuous at best. I don't remember who it was, but there was someone from EA regarding the game. They were like, "So, given all this, like, what have you changed? What he's looking at changing anything? What he's changed regarding the game before it comes out?" And he says, "Yeah, we've changed absolutely nothing."
I think he's right though.
Oh, he's absolutely right. And to their mind, I mean, he was basically saying, well, this thing is a bit of an anomaly. Like, if we look at any other sites other than YouTube,
It's positive.
It's a lot more kind of balanced. It's a lot more positive for the game. It's just, they're just
YouTube's turning into Reddit, isn't it?
that thing was just an anomaly and was a mess. And the thing is, it kind of rules out. This is what these folk don't realise is like, yeah, it's fun and it gets lots of headlines and it changes absolutely fucking nothing. And there were things about it that people did dislike. Some folk didn't like the fact that it has gone so far away from what Call of Duty was, that you're now in space and you've got all this zero-G combat and just nothing like what a Call of Duty game was. Personally, I wouldn't have minded picking up the Modern Warfare remaster, but I can't do it unless I buy this as well. I need to spend, was it 60, 40 quid? 80 quid over here. It'd be 60 quid for the game and another 20 quid for the special edition in order to get the remastered Modern Warfare. You're like, that for me is an issue, and that's where part of the dislike for me comes into it. But these issues are now just all brushed under the carpet because it's just a laugh to go in and have it be the highest disliked YouTube video game trailer. You're like, you blew it, guys. Like, you've had valid points, you don't anymore. You just look like mugs. Thanks again.
So you're right. Ghostbusters is the highest kind of disliked movie.
Was it 250,000 to 900,000 or something?
Yeah, just over 900,000. It's ninth in all time video dislikes.
Although, I'll say one thing. Have you heard the new theme tune that's been reworked by Fall Out Boy and Missy Elliott, the fucking Dream Team?
Yeah, I listened to that last week.
Yeah,
opinion?
I avoided it until someone decided to just kind of put it right in my face and go, here, listen to this. So, yeah. Mr. fucking K, thanks for that.
Fucks for the memories.
Oh my god, that was just an all-out assault.
Who the fuck thought that was an idea? Do what the fuck you want. Make it a dubstep track, go nuts, but don't fucking Missy Elliott and Fall Out Boy. There's an album I wanted to hear.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think if they just threw an actual turd at you, then folk might have just kind of like went and shouted
in
over
VR
that instead of the potential turds that we've not actually seen yet. Like, I don't know. That was just horrible.
I still want to see the film, but I want to see the film just out of curiosity, but because it might just be a film, you never know. As the guys from one of my favourite podcasts, The Weekly Planet, put it, what if it's just a film? That's exactly right. It's probably just a film, but it's just a bunch of bad ideas doesn't get people inside either. So
I'm liking the way that the marketing's actually going for this is kind of interesting at the moment. And again, it's completely tenuous at best because I can't find anywhere concrete that's kind of showing this, but it's popped up in a few places where this thing where apparently Sony, at first they were just deleting negative comments, except
I saw this.
There wasn't enough for them to keep up. There wasn't enough. There's too many negative comments for them to keep up with. So it got to the point where apparently what's happening is they're deleting comments that are negative about the movie unless they are specifically sexist or misogynistic in some way, and they're just letting them sit.
So people can go, this is full of women, we don't like women, but if they say bad about the film, it's getting shot down?
Aye, because that way if the film pans, if the film bombs...
There's somebody they can blame.
Interesting.
It's due to all those sexist men, like they just didn't want to give it a chance.
Misogyny killed their film.
They didn't want to give it a chance in the first place. Which is kind of backed up when you've got Melissa McCarthy talking to The Guardian and on Jimmy Kimmel's show, for example, talking about the criticisms and talking about it being 45-year-old men in their mother's basements, just spewing shite on the internet, and you're like, really, these are the people you want to go and see this movie?
Yes.
You've got Kevin Feige, the director, talking about how geek culture is home to the biggest arseholes he's ever met in his life.
Yeah, they're doing everything to kind of get to alienate the one couple of factions that might actually still go and see the film.
Yeah, so it's like every comment you kind of finding about it is just it does kind of perpetuate this idea. Like that's why I can't find anything concrete to say that this is actually happened. It does just seem to be kind of Reddit rumors and other places that have picked it up from there. But when you've got that kind of thing, I mean, again, Kevin Feige from a while back, everybody says I'm making the female Ghostbusters, but I say no, we're making the funny Ghostbusters. Yes, it happens to be 4 women. It's original. That movie with Slimer and what looks like a containment field getting brought down, and the Stay Puft
That's never been done before, though. Pioneers.
I mean, none of that. I've never seen any of that before. Like it's all just it's so original. Like that. I mean, that first scene in the trailer where it looks like they're in some sort of library where they're getting to see their first apparition. That looks quite benevolent and it's totally fucking original, man.
Well, also
Anyway.
the fact that the thing that pisses me off is this guy's message is so mangled for his own film. He put that trailer together, and here I'm getting wound up again. He put that trailer together, and the start of the fucking trailer says 30 years ago, 4 heroes saved the city, and then goes on to say this is a reboot. You can't reference the thing that happened before if it didn't happen before.
If it technically didn't happen, yeah. To finish his quote, you get pissing and moaning on the internet, sexist comments, but fuck them.
Not the second bit.
Yeah. Hi Kevin. The internet's here to say fuck you back and your movie too.
Using the power of dislike buttons.
Yeah, I mean it's just so. This is the thing. It's like it's now
Red Dragon Bill.
it is now getting to the point where I mean I said in a previous podcast I watched the first trailer. I didn't find it particularly funny. I watched the second trailer and it was a bit slower and a bit more methodical, and there was actually a few things in there that kind of caught my interest. Although it does look like a reboot, it looks like they're telling the same story again. But now you're just going. I'm actually turned off by them. I am turned off by how they're deciding to counterattack on the whole thing,
Yeah.
because it's just become horrible. It's just become messy.
Mhm.
So I mean, I can absolutely believe that they're going in there and taking out all the comments. Any female that says they don't want to see the movie, those comments are just getting removed straight away. Any comment that goes on about the fact that it's 4 women in the roles, and making sexist jokes, and that's the thing. Half of these aren't even comments about the movie. It's people thinking they're funny and
Yes.
making sexist jokes and jumping on the same bandwagon. Again, you just need to stop jumping these bandwagons, guys, because you're just fucking yourself over with it. But yeah.
Although I'll say, although I don't condone kind of that kind of stuff, there was one that actually made me snort laugh. That's on Reddit the other day where a guy went, "Is anybody go? What does it say? Is anybody going to go and see what was it? 8 tits and a Slimer?" You can always rely on Reddit to take it down to its most base factor.
Yeah.
It wasn't even intelligent. It was just a guy counting boobs. Do you know what I mean? The fucking idiots. But that's the thing that comes out of all this is that. Well, I think it comes with a lot of these comments and stuff like that as well with YouTube, is that people assume that when they type something that everybody gets their sense of humour. So you've got people that are just being kind of edgy, and you've got other people just being pure bile.
Mhm.
And the problem is, if they're going to be selective about what they keep, it's spin. No matter how you want to dress up, it's still spin.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's to protect them in the boardroom more than anything else, I would wager.
Yeah. To give it some sort of balance, one final quote about the whole thing, which is, I think the lovers of the original movie felt there was some kind of sacrilege to redo it, because it was a seminal part of their movie-going experience as a 7 or 8-year-old. That's something that can't be minimised, and I totally respect that love. All I'm asking is that they give the film a shot. I think it's very satisfying and wonderful experience on its own, and I think people are going to go with it. And that was Ivan Reitman, director of the original, who is producing the new movie and has been around for a long time and has seen all this shit before.
Yeah.
And Kevin and all the rest of you need to listen to this, man, because that is how you go up against this bullshit. And it is bullshit. The whole sexist thing is absolute fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
And you're not going to fight it by going, oh well, fuck them. You're not going to fight it by calling them arseholes.
Yeah.
Reitman's just out there going, look, this is the reason why people aren't liking it. They feel like this is somehow tainting their childhood. And yeah, I mean, that's maybe they're maybe going a bit extreme with that, but I can understand where they're coming from. And all I'm asking is, like, there are original members of the production team, and Reitman and Aykroyd that are part of this. Give it a chance. And it's like, yeah, do you know what? For him, yeah, I might actually go and see it after all.
Yeah, I think that's a nice way to put it, because as we were talking about the last episode, or 2 weeks ago anyway, was about Duncan Jones dealing with that crazy journal that was just given a stick, and he sat there and was a consummate professional, and he went, do you know what, this is what it is, and this is what we've made, and we loved it, so we hope you love it too. And that's the thing that will make you go, you're right, that's the thing that will make you go, I want to go and see what these guys are.
Do you know what, I'll maybe give it a chance.
Yeah,
so, I think I will actually check it out just to see, just purely on that, just purely on Reitman. But as for Kevin Feige, yeah, go fuck yourself.
Steve, do you have any thoughts on the subject?
I'll very basically wait till the first reviews come out after the film actually comes out. From the trailers, it's not appealing to me in the slightest, but just need to wait and see. I'm more kind of attuned to listening to kind of my peers as to what they think than most other people, so we'll see.
Cool. See, that's a very mature thing here. We're actually being mature at best. We'll just see that tenuous. We'll just make that something we can change every week, right?
I'm lying. I'm just going to see it to see 8 tits.
Yeah. Pretty sure I just told a man I've never met before to go fuck himself. That's, let's not go for the really mature angle.
I think it's because you're always on YouTube, Zane. I think it's what they term when you look into the abyss looks back into you. You're becoming the void.
I'm becoming the tube.
Yeah. So a 10 years movie idea to another 10 years movie idea. Has any of you guys done any reading on Tetris?
Nope.
No,
they've not released. I'm not going to go into this in any long detail, but just yes, this is where I'm going with this. 3. So they've not told anybody what the story is. They've said it's quite funny that people think there's going to be little anthropomorphic square cube things running about the place. I'm seeing pixels in my head. Everybody is.
I mean, what else have you got to go on? Like,
do you know
really?
what would be funny? It was really funny to do like an Oliver Stone style, like the making of Tetris, about the guy that actually created it and the grimy Eastern Bloc when he was brought up and stuff. Like,
that would be awesome. I'll watch that movie.
I was more inclined to.
Don't know how you stretch it into trilogy, but I would certainly watch that movie.
Yeah. Any interest, Dee?
A little bit. For some reason, when you were saying that, I was thinking, was that guy not a tank commander? But then I was thinking that was Mr. Kalashnikov, and then my mind just went down a kind of weird racist, kind of almost rant about all Russians drinking vodka and driving tanks.
That's not racist. That's fact.
All Russians are tank commanders.
I'm literally sitting on Iron Brew right now. Are you not?
You'd know if I was.
Nobody likes a warm drink.
Yeah. Whiskey, dude. Why else am I getting belligerent?
We need to bring weapons into it. So Tetris we don't care about. Minecraft movie. That's another who cares.
I mean,
I will definitely never see that.
Yes, I don't even understand Minecraft. I don't know what the hell it's about. I do vaguely, but I don't know. I understand. I only found out like 2 weeks ago that there's baddies in it. I think you just built things. It turns out there's wee monsters in it. So anyway.
I mean, you very rarely see that these days. Like, most people are just kind of into the creation side of it. But there is I mean, it could be argued that Minecraft was the originator of all these kind of survival games that you get these days. Like,
oh, right.
It really was kind of the first. It's like as soon as...
Is it like an overnight thing?
Yeah, as soon as it gets dark, as soon as night falls, there's like kind of wee skeletons come out with bows and arrows, and
oh, that's cool.
Wee green creepers that kind of like walk up to you and explode in your face. And I mean, it was it was pretty much the first survival game, or well, it was. Yeah, it was the first of that ilk, that kind of big open world where you need to get food and build a shelter to actually survive, and then go digging for stronger weapons and stronger items to survive longer, and eventually like kind of build up a stable home. And I pretty much If nothing else, it kicked off that whole genre. Now that whole genre still doesn't do anything. Every single game that comes out of it just mires in early access for eternity. But you know, in like 30 years' time, where they actually get one of them to work, Minecraft should be remembered as the granddaddy of all that.
I've got a lot more respect for that now. I didn't know that was that's what it did. That's really cool.
Aye,
I'm still not going to see the movie.
no, they can still screw the movie.
Aye. Other things we've got on the plate at the moment. I just saw some articles the other day about. Have you heard about the kind of upcoming King Kong versus Godzilla film that's going into production? It's going to be using Garth Edwards' Godzilla from the last movie, so it's like 360 feet tall. Now, if anyone's familiar with King Kong, we've seen him in sizes from 30 feet tall, sometimes 17 feet tall, depending on the old treatments. Sometimes you see him at like maybe 55, 60 feet. But I think the tallest up till now was like 60 feet tall. As it turns out, the King Kong for this one is going to be apparently the same size as Godzilla. So we're getting a 300-foot tall King Kong, which sounds amazing fun to me. I like big monsters and stupid films.
That's just going to be Pacific Rim meets
Pacific Jim. I don't know. But yeah, exactly that.
So in other words, this King Kong is going to be as much King Kong as Godzilla was in the fucking dodgy Matthew Broderick version of Godzilla. Which
Probably.
was just a giant fucking lizard and not not Godzilla at all.
That's true, aye. So that's what it is. So I'm really looking forward to that just because I like big stupid monster films, I always have. Other news we've got on that, we have Big Stupid Monster movie, Pacific Rim 2. We've already got John Boyega attached to that. And we've got Scott Eastwood attached to that as well. So we're actually getting a cast together. I just think, I love these stupid films, I really do. I don't care if they've got a story or not. Give me big explosions, big monsters, happy as hell.
So apparently,
Yep,
Zarak in the chat wants Crash Bandicoot the movie.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Actually, you know what? They'll do that with Bradley Cooper in a dress.
Just 2 hours of him running at you.
I know a lot of people would be alright with that. 2 hours of Bradley Cooper running at me, I'm fine. Yeah, but Pacific Rim 2, I'm up for that one. Then you guys did any of you guys even like Pacific Rim?
I've still not seen it.
Have you not? It's tremendously nonsense. It's great. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's actually in the library if you care to watch it. Still.
Yeah, it's just one I'd never get around to. Like so many.
Other stuff we've got. No,
What about for Crash Bandicoot, Bobcat Goldthwait?
Is he not dead?
No, he's not dead.
Is he?
No, he just speaks normally now.
Oh, does he?
Aye.
I want to see who he looks like now. If anyone doesn't know who that guy is, if you're familiar with the Police Academy movies, Bobcat Goldthwait was the guy who...
Pretty much that.
Yep. Is he still a stand-up or something?
He still does stand up, yeah.
Ah, right.
But not as he used to do.
He looks absolutely normal.
Yeah.
He looks like a bass player in a kind of downtown jazz band.
He does indeed.
Yeah, I
He
mean,
looks
he
cool.
used to do stand up as that character. Now it is just him. Still Bobcat. It's still the same name and everything, but yeah.
I want to now watch his stand-up shows because that's awesome that he's
They're
still
good.
working.
The worst scene. His recent stuff is good.
Awesome. There you go. He's not just he's actually managed to escape the whole thing. Although Dee and I went to see, what's his name again?
Michael.
Barrymore.
No, Michael Winslow. Michael Winslow. Winslow? Yeah.
Yep.
I went to see him. That's the guy that does the sound effects. I think is it Jones his name was? And Police Academy does all the sound effects. And we went to see him live and it was exceptional, wasn't it?
It was absolutely brilliant, phenomenal. The
Sorry, man.
his show at the time was when he was doing all these kind of voices and noises and stuff. I've never heard anything like it, but it was punctuated by trying to kind of put it into context with stories and that kind of sort of stuff didn't seem natural.
He didn't have the
did it?
glue for it, did he?
Yeah, but yeah, when he was on it, he does a mean Jimi Hendrix kind of impression and all the kind of guitar sound and stuff. You can find most of it on. I think there's some YouTube videos of his stand up, and if not stand up, there's some like kind of daytime interview with him, and it's phenomenal to listen to. He's an absolute magician.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It was absolutely brilliant in The Crow. Oh shit, that was Wincott on it.
As we say, the guy with the sexiest voice in the world.
Boy, your mom must be sure proud of you.
I love that guy's voice, man. It's incredible. And even I'm sitting like as a straight male going, "It's quite nice, by the way. Keep talking." But yeah, what else was he in? Oh, I was in Alien Resurrection.
Alien Resurrection, yeah.
Yeah, I like that film. I don't care. This is a pile of nonsense. I enjoyed it.
Strange Days.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, it's awesome. It's terrible. It's awesome.
We'll do a crap movie recommendation every week because there's tons of them.
Yeah.
So
Ralph Fiennes, possibly pronounced Rafe, but you know, there you go. Anyway, I believe it's
moving forward.
Yes. Derailed enough.
So on from more tenuous movie options to how in God's green earth we're getting a Power Rangers movie. I just seem like all these things that get remade that are before, like after my time now. Like
Feeling old, son.
I'm getting old, yeah, but Power Rangers always looked shit. Am I wrong?
No, agreed. Terrible.
Again,
Almost.
I mean, it was about when I was a kid, but it looked shit then.
yeah. Again, after my time, I kind of missed that whole thing. So
I think I'm trying to think when it first. When would that have been? Let's do a Wikipedia checkup on the Power Rangers. Right, so Power Rangers first started when 1993. So I'd have been what 11 or something. So yeah, I was still aged to be watching Power Rangers, probably around about the perfect age actually. And I just remember looking at it going, "This looks shit." There's a lot of weird zooming going on, and that freaked me. I don't know. But yeah, Bryan Cranston signed up for playing the character of Zordon, who's a big guy's face in a tube, kind of like the master computer from Tron. Yeah, let's make a 70s reference. Good show. But yeah, so he signed on for that. I do not care for a Power Rangers movie.
yeah, I mean, I tried to read. Apparently, there was some sort of long-winded history of Cranston and having some sort of involvement in Power Rangers.
He used to voice the villains in the 90s, apparently.
Yeah, and I think then a character get named after him, and I get up at a quarter of an article and lost a will to live, so I can't really. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody talked about it on another podcast, and I was like, I'm still listening to this. Why am I listening to this? I don't care about this. Sure, shall we move on? Dee, this is one that will affect you. Have you seen anything about the new 24 series that's starting?
Zip Zero Zilch.
New series. Jack Bauer is being replaced. Apparently, he's still going to be. He's going to turn up somewhere in it, but it's basically handing the torch over.
To who?
Let's find out what the guy's name.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the entire movie, the entire series is just 24 one-hour interviews of like replacements.
Exactly. It's going like The Apprentice.
It's just the entire series is just set in one room with like two desks, and they just bring folk in and interview them to be the new Jack Bauer.
No, it's going to be Alicia Cuthbert with her leg stuck in a different trap every single episode.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest first seasons of anything to watch in the world. I swear to God, I can't. I could go back and watch 24, no problem. Just as long as I skip season 1, I'm fine. I don't know why. I just can't cope with it. I think it's probably because Alicia Cuthbert gets attacked by a tramp. Her leg gets attacked, gets stuck in a trap, and then she gets attacked by a cougar. Oh well, somebody's trying to bomb New York or something. You're like,
I pretty much just skipped the whole bloody thing. And when they got to the point where it's going to do 24, the movie 24, like
the lunchbox.
Aye, it's like either it's like 2 hour movie, so it's not really the point of 24, or it's actually going to be 24 hours and fuck that noise. And if you take out the whole 24 hours aspect of it, is it not just pretty much Liam Neeson? Is it not just taken at that point?
Well, that's it. They did the movie and took that aspect out. It didn't work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
as well just call it 1 hour 50 or whatever.
1 hour and 51 minutes. Yeah, so that was pretty weird. But I don't know. I'll give it a watch. I kind of fell out of love with it around about season 6, I think it was. Which is pretty good considering how far I'd gotten with it. But it was one of those shows I hadn't watched it and it was already on season 6, so I'd kind of caught up in like 3 weekends of eye-burning TV binging. So I liked it for that much, but I think that I think some things should be left to kind of just die. And I mean, that's for example, Game of Thrones at the moment. We're looking at 2 more seasons and I think 13 episodes altogether, which is the way to do it. See if they finish this on 13 episodes and tie it up. It'll always be hailed as a classic instead of burning the hell out of it, you know.
That'll be interesting. I'm still God. I want to see how the hell you managed to end this. Like, I still,
I lost and pissing everybody off.
it's like I do not know. I cannot actually think what would be for me a satisfactory way to end Game of Thrones. Like,
I think they should end it like they ended Monty Python, the Holy Grail. Just with the police turn up and police cars. Oi, that's enough of that.
aye.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I don't can't think of a specific character that if you put them on the throne and then just put credits, that would, I mean, that wouldn't work for me. And what are you gonna?
What if they've all been dead the entire time?
I mean, that's the other bit I see is they just all fight their way into the throne room and then they just get in there and then they kind of stand a bit confused for a wee minute, and then one of them opens the door at the back of the throne room and there's just a big white light and they'll kind of look at each other nodding and understanding and slowly
Welcome to level 2.
walk out of it and wonder why fucking Joe Shepherd's standing waiting for them at the other side. I'm so interested in seeing how you're actually going to finish this in a way that doesn't make me go, oh fuck's sake.
Either Arya Stark gets the throne,
Nah, not a chance.
or the Hound gets the throne, or they all get their armies together, settle themselves. They've got an army of 50,000 folk between them, and the White Walkers still come in and blitz them in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think, here's my theory. I think what they're going to do is somebody's going to blow up more stuff at some point, and I think that they're going to destroy the throne. It's going to end, and then it'll say next season on Game of Swords. And they're going to be fighting over something completely different for another 10 seasons. And it'll be Game of CSGO,
Game of Walls.
Game of Skins. They'll be fighting over a gold skin for an AK-47.
One of the finishes that might make sense, and unfortunately it was kind of spoiler, some mute for 10 seconds that was kind of referred to in the latter
So
episodes.
is this an actual spoiler?
Kind of.
Right,
Just
fuck off.
No, just because it's been referred to kind of recently, when I thought that would kind of make sense in a way, would be if Littlefinger ended up on the throne.
Well, I think that's his whole reason for existing in this, but he's going to have to get over a lot of people because he's lost a lot of trust.
Yep.
I think so there. But I think it'd be a good way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, okay, that would kind of work for me. Like, the Hound at one point famously said, fuck the king. So if the very last scene is Littlefinger, well, the second last scene is Littlefinger ascending to the throne, and then the Hound comes in and actually literally fucks the king, and then you get credits. I mean, I'll be happy with that. That would work for me.
It changes from Littlefinger to Nayfinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, but I've already spotted on YouTube all the bait videos.
Aye.
Then the Hound takes his place on the throne, sits down. There's a close up to the Hound, and all he says is, "Cunt."
That's how you end it. That's
Credits,
exactly
yeah.
it.
I suppose Littlefinger getting the throne would, I mean, the entire thing likes to just screw your expectations. So that miserly prick getting everything you ever wanted. Yeah, you could kind of see them doing that. I'm not sure I would be satisfied with it, but you could at least see them doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think. Well, the thing is, if you look at it now, I mean, they've got a whole bunch of characters they can bring in and stuff, but I really think that they're running out of characters that you really care about. They're bringing in the people from Dorne. You don't really care about them.
Oh, I mean, they're just going to sail over on a boat and get Malky to be something. I don't think you need to worry. I don't think you need to worry about them.
We need to have a Scottish glossary that comes up along the bottom, by the way. It's like a dictionary term. Melky.
I'll find it in the comments. One of my Tomb Raider videos, there is actually an annotation that comes up that tells you the definition for Malkeith, so I'll dig that out.
No. Other movie stuff, has anybody heard? Well, the news on Indiana Jones, which is probably, I think this is a franchise very dear to your heart, Zane. They're going to do one more film with Harrison Ford, then perhaps they're going to be recasting.
I mean, recasting.
I think they should just hand it over and stop calling it Indiana Jones and start a new franchise by all means, but don't get some.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like, at this point, it's everything. Everything about it. People, unless you're going to do an actual remake, which I don't really see the point of, and don't particularly want.
Yeah.
It's like everything about Indiana Jones isn't just indie. Like it's that whole time, it's that whole era.
Yeah.
It's the whole fight off against the Germans and everything else that makes that what it is.
It's not just an adventurer.
Aye, and that was kind of part of the problem with Crystal Skull. One of the problems with the Crystal Skull, fucking
Other than the Crystal Skull.
other than fucking fucking Mr. No, Shia LaBeouf can fuck off as well.
I thought you just melted there.
Just like I think you just got to give it a rest. I think it's done, and I don't think recasting it and reshooting it is a good idea either, because you're either going to tell the same kind of stories with someone else who is a bit like Harrison Ford, or it's going to move on to where it's that character but transplanted in another time, another era that might work, but it still essentially isn't the thing. It's not the full package, and I think that's what works with those movies.
Do you think then it's maybe wise for them to take, like, say, this, get Harrison Ford to do his last film, like, wrap it up, and then they're talking about the Uncharted films, for example, a nice one to pick up with the new Tomb Raider series, be an idea to pick up, let them move forward with it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I quite like that. The Sarek in the chat saying could just call him Nathan Drake and be done with it.
They're still talking about Uncharted as a movie, are they not?
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, I mean, I think, for better or worse, I think it's wrapped up. I could be wrong. I mean, I could be absolutely wrong. Like, Rocky Balboa proved that you can come back 20 years later and actually do another coda that works. So, but I mean, as far as I can see, alright, it might not be a satisfactory ending, but he passed off the hat in the last fucking movie. Let's just leave it at that.
Amazingly, Uncharted actually has a IMDb entry.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realise that. It's got a lot of people attached. No cast as yet, but a lot of people attached to it.
Yeah, still early on.
It's also got something quite erroneous in its synopsis, but I'll let you read that later. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone that's not been playing the game, because I've obviously never seen you play it, to be honest, on your rather nice channel. Thanks for having us, by the way. It's lovely. It's palatial. Indiana Jones.
Occasionally.
I think I love Indiana Jones films. I could watch one any day of the week, and I love that character. But as you say, it's very much a point in time. D, thoughts?
For what? Sorry,
Indiana Jones.
I've never watched the Crystal Skull. I never will. I hold fond memories for the first three, particularly the third one, the title for which I can't recall now. What was that again?
Which one?
What was
Last
called?
Crusade.
Last Crusade, last one.
Yeah, loved that film.
Penitent Man.
I just think.
Penitent Man.
I don't think it should continue as Indiana Jones.
Yeah, just let it lie.
Yeah, it's gone. I mean, it's reminded me of the fact that I saw an article today that it was one of my favourite articles or headlines that I saw today, which was I don't think Goonies 2 will happen by Corey Feldman. And I just thought, yeah, you're right, that shouldn't fucking happen, particularly because you were part of it.
Can you imagine, like, trying to bring goddamn Thanos back now? Is it XSplit that's having like a...
No. And we're back.
Yay! You're back in the room on the interwebs. So we're talking again, is that good?
Goddamn internet.
Fucking cats. Right, we're going to blame the cat. The cat is always the problem.
Apparently Dee's got the horn.
Quite. I want a grill! I was actually listening to a band called Grails today. That's weird.
I still want that beard.
It is beautiful. You're getting there. You've got the streak now. Although I've got wee grey bits. Look at my wee grey bits. I'm very proud of them. We're just going to be getting like a Dee's Reddit image collection now, aren't we?
My wife pointed out at one point that see with a nice wee grey streak just on top of your hair there, if we were to implant my beard onto your face, then you would just have this great diagonal line of white just running straight through.
You'd have to call me White Lightning. Which would be less appropriate if you're from Glasgow, obviously.
Yeah, and again, I believe the next word is anyway.
Moving on. Yeah, there isn't much more in the kind of movie stuff that I want to go into. There's some developing bits and bobs we'll go into. I would like to wrap up on one final discussion point, though. Batman versus Superman Ultimate Edition. Who saw it and who cares?
Haven't seen it, won't see it, don't care, will never care. Next.
Awesome.
Zane?
Yeah, so have you seen it yet?
I saw it, yep.
Yeah,
I
I saw
actually, for someone that didn't enjoyed the film and that it was okay, wasn't enthralled by it, watched it out of almost professional curiosity, I guess, in the sense that I wanted to be able to talk about it in a review scale. And yeah, it feels like there's nothing left on the cutting room floor. I feel like they kind of gave you everything they had, and I don't know that it certainly made the film more cohesive, but I don't think it fixed it.
Yeah, that's it, exactly. I mean, it's definitely a more cohesive movie, and there's a couple of wee things in there that it just shows you how much you can change through editing.
Yes.
Which was a big thing. It makes the film a lot more cohesive. Like, Lois actually goes out and does some fucking journalism. Like, she actually goes out and investigates in this version of the movie. She's not just there to screw up and be saved and screw up and be
Sorry,
saved.
that wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, things like that. It's like you actually get to see Clark go out and do a bit of investigation, and you can see a bit more of the reason why he's so pissed off with the Bat, which kind of makes sense. And that way it all kind of helps. But it's still fundamentally broken in parts, and like there are no ways to fix it. If you've got a problem with the idea of Batman killing people, well, in the last version it was only really kind of intimated that he kills folk. In this version, he just fucking flat out kills folk. They are dead. Like,
yes,
they're
I found the branding a really hard thing to cope with. That's just a particularly cruel thing to add in. I'm not a comics guy, really, so I don't know if that's something that's been about in the comics. I assume it has been, because I don't think Zack Snyder's that bold to flip things that much, but it just seemed like a really...
I mean, if it is, it's not one that I've come across personally, but...
It's just really cruel and weird.
Yeah.
And I presume the end bit where he doesn't brand the person is a way of saying, I've kind of, I'm reborn, I work a different way now. Is that? I don't know.
I guess so. Yeah, I don't know. It's
he's pissing himself or something. Also, Zane, he's got a mouse in his face.
Yeah, because
he's not got a cat.
Because we might as well go for every kind of fuck up tonight. I mean, it is at the end of the day. If you're not that keen on the movie in the first place, this isn't going to change your mind in any way whatsoever. It's
going to upset you because you gave it another 3 hours of your life you'll never get back.
Aye, but I mean, it does a lot. There's some touches in it, let's say, that do kind of make a difference. Like just by adding one tiny wee scene. Example: the courthouse.
Yes, the
courthouse explodes.
Superman is sad.
Aye. Courthouse explodes and he's just standing crying in the flames. You're like, what the actual...
Only Superman can cry in flames because these tears don't dry.
Don't dry up. Yeah. And then, so in the original, it cuts to the next scene where you just see him kind of giving a mournful look to Lois and then fucks off. And you're just like, well, yeah, screw all
There's
those
no people
folk.
needing saved,
yeah,
you prick.
Screw all those folk in the courthouse that are now just burning to death while you stand there having a wee sob. At least in the Ultimate Edition, they just add one tiny small wee scene where you see him flying down with one person in his arms, puts him on a stretcher, and saying to an ambulance guy, like that's that's it, clear. And it's like, well, okay, he actually did something. He actually got people out of there. He actually behaved
like completely changes that section.
Superman rather than being a wee emo child. So yeah, I mean, like it shows just how much you need to actually pay attention when you're editing these things. Because that changes everything about his character. Because up until that point, he just doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't seem to give a fuck about anything. All these people are burning. He just fucking flies off feeling sorry for himself. Right at the end of the movie where... by the way, spoilers. Too late, fuck you. right at the end of the movie where you've got Lex, whether he's inside the spaceship and they're arresting him, and you actually see him communing with someone. Don't actually tell you who it is. It's kind of turned out we know now, but that again changes the whole end scene of the movie, because as it was originally cut, you've got him going a bit mental in the jail cell, talking about it's too late, they're already coming, and it makes it seem like he's not been in control of himself for the whole movie.
Yes.
It seems like
Like
whatever's
even a
going
conduit or something.
Aye. Whereas, because there was absolutely no reason for that, for that statement. But in this one, you actually see him talking to someone before they go and pull him out of the spaceship. So it makes sense when he starts talking about it's too late, they're already on their way, and the whole ding, 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 ding thing.
Because
actually
I
has
thought it
context.
made no. I thought that made no. I was like, I remember watching it, going, "What's he talking about?
Mhm.
What in God's green earth is he talking about?" Right, for those that are going to listen to this, Dee's decided that he's going to go MS Paint on her ass and start colouring in above his own head, and it looks. I'll say it looks like looks glorious. Oh, get ready. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, no, that was one of those things that just made me kind of go, that's nonsense. But again, there's bits that I think made a real difference. But there's still this underlying thing for me that says, if you can't make a good film, and if you can't make a decent attempt at a film in an hour and a half, fuck off. If you can't, you definitely can't do it in 2.5 hours. You're stupid.
Mhm.
Stop squeezing stuff in. They could have taken the Wonder Woman thing and the other metahuman stuff out of it. They could have probably changed quite a few bits. They'd spent too long on the build and not long enough on the two characters that it was meant to be about. And
Right.
it just felt disjointed. I think the other problem with it is that we should have had another Superman film, perhaps. We probably should have had a Batman film beforehand too. So two Batman Supermans you actually cared about.
Yeah.
But they're basically trying to not only just say, here's two people whose fundamental principles don't exactly gel, but also, while we're here, we're going to teach you about his principles and his principles, and we're going to hit them off each other right away. We're not going to get you used to the concept of how these apply to the world or how they actually politically view things. And instead you get this kind of rushed ramsham that, even while rushing, takes 3 hours to happen.
Yeah. It would help if you actually made their principles different in some way as well.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand what the pair of them are rallying against each other. It's like...
Batman was kind of a dick in this, to be honest.
Yeah, so Superman thinks he's been too violent, he's been too cruel with the branding or whatever else. It's like at the start of the movie, he literally punches a guy through 2 walls at super speed.
Yeah.
Have no illusions, that man is dead. His insides are liquidized.
Yeah.
So it's like he's killing people.
That guy's actually mortar.
So so what's his beef with Batman's way of doing it if he's quite happy to straight up kill?
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like why have these two got a beef with each other?
They needed a better justification for the verses altogether.
Yeah, they needed a better writer and director.
Yeah.
And movie.
I think Affleck will fix it because he's apparently not willing to get started on this standalone film until he's happy with the script. Which holds some kind of hope.
Yeah.
Which tells me Snyder walked in and went, check this bad boy, and Affleck went, no.
Yeah, I mean we'll see. Like I say, I mean I'm already gone. I don't see. I think Zach's already screwing it for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like you've got everything just that you've seen so far looks kind of positive for Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that long now before we'll actually see for sure, but it's all looking good. And the word on Leto is Joker looking pretty decent. And I would absolutely love to see a movie with Batfleck and Leto's Joker fighting it off. Except here's the problem: you've now got a Batman that kills. So there is absolutely no reason for him not to walk up in the first 10 minutes of that film and just snap the Joker's neck.
Yeah, because that's the whole Barney's always been, the Joker's been evil and goading Batman about kill me, kill me, kill me, and you never will do it because you're the Knight of Justice and all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing of the Joker.
Well, do a wee bit of are we coming back to life here? Hey, here we go.
Okay.
Hey, we're back just before we fold up. Nice
Yeah,
one.
tell you what, fuck this noise. Let's go home.
All right. Well, I think we know what our thoughts are on BVS. If you watch it, drop a line in the comments. Let us know what you think. Zane, would you care to bring us up the wrap-up card, please, sir?
I'm absolutely terrified to touch anything at this point. I have no idea what's going to happen now.
There we go, and
Yeah.
it works. So that's nice.
Kinda.
Kinda. There's some overlap, but
Oh
who
my
cares?
god. Don't look at the gap in the green screen. Don't look at the gap in the green screen.
The magic has been ruined. Turn it off.
I'm just going to say I am but half a man.
You think that's bad? He just turned it to Windows 95.
Don't look at the paedophile behind the curtain.
Why are you still on pedophiles?
Come on, the Wizard of Oz was definitely a pedo. I mean, there's
That
no
is
doubt
true.
about it.
Why have you got the Wizard of Oz behind your curtain? Your curtain's really concerning. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap it there. Thanks for sticking by us for the technical difficulties that we had there. If you didn't pick up the technical difficulties, well, nice. We'll leave that for next week. But if you tuned in on the YouTubes, which you'll probably be able to do once we edit out most of the holes, I think we should leave some of the holes in just so this rant here makes some sense.
Just for context.
Yeah, exactly, because we didn't exactly split and then come back. But yeah, in the meantime, you can catch us on the things next to us, which is over this way. I always get that wrong. So you get Zane, he can do his intro,
It's
but
now that way.
yeah, I'm very confused. I know, look at him. This is awesome audio, I tell you. So you get me on www.ratworks.net, and you can get me at Ratworks Visuals on the Twitter machine, and Ratworks Graphics on Facebook. Really hard to get Ratworks and a lot of things for some reason. So that's where you get me. You do kind of motion graphics and video and stuff like that. Also on stereovandals.co.uk, we're doing some music, some tunes and such behaviours, and at stereovandals on Twitter. Yeah, that's about the size of my self-promotion. Jazz? Zane?
I just am Zane Gaming. You can find me on youtube.com/Zane Gaming TV, which I only just found out tonight. Apparently I thought it was a longer URL, but there you go. Yeah, we are on there with gaming let's plays, some occasional live nonsense with, so far, this one. Hopefully soon this pair, and yeah, and more rants like this.
Indeed.
That's what you get.
Also, you can get us on Facebook.com, and you can get us at 10@best on the Twitter machine. So get in touch, drop lines in the comments, shout at us, give us stick in general,
And you can get me for $50 an hour.
to do what? We'll talk after the show. But anyway, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. We'll hopefully have less technical difficulties next week, and we'll catch you up at the same time, 8:30 GMT +1. I believe they call it a BST. And otherwise, you can get us on the podcast as well. So if you've got a podcasting device, i.e. a phone with apps on it, look up 10 Years at Best. You can subscribe to us, and we'll have that uploaded ASAP as well. So peace out, cheers, and take it easy.
Yeah, take care, folks.